Vanam Namastuvyam Shri Radha Kanishtikam Rasayana Kagamritam Sankirtanam Anandadham Gosvami Vanam Namastuvyam Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Stayarmane Shrimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Niti Namine Om Vishnupadaya Shri Keshavayatmane Shrimad Bhakti Vedanta Vamanati Namine Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Om Vishnupadaya Acharya Simharupine Shrimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshavati Namine Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshadvaranya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padamujayate Namaha O Bhakti Vinodaya Sachirananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Vibha Bhumestvam Nirdesa Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Pachakalpatarubhyascha Vasindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Shri Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Krishe Namaha Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jaganpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Galangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Jaitam Surato Pango Amandamate Kati Matsarva Swapadam Bhujo Shri Radha Madana Mohano Divya Vrindaranya Kalpadrumada Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanasto Srimad Radha Shila Govinda Deva Krishnanidhi Sivya Manasmarami Srimad Rasa Rasarambi Vamsivata Tatastika Karshan Venu Sune Gopi Gopinatha Shri Yasuna Vrindaye Tulasi Deve Priyaye Keshavasya Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavate Namo Namaha Panchatattvamakam Krishna Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktatyam Namami Bhakti Shaktikam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Rama Ramo Hare Hare.
Thank you, Didi. So, Radha Sundar Didi from UK, if you'd like to start us with a kirtan for Gurudev. I think you said Gurudev Kripa Karke on page 360. And we have Sia on Ridanga as well with you. It's very nice. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. गुरुदेव कृपा करके मुझको अपना लेना। गुरुदेव कृपा करके मुझको अपना लेना। मैं शरण पड़ी तेरी चरणों में जगा देना। मैं शरण पड़ी तेरी चरणों में जगा देना। चरणों में जगा देना। गुरुदेव कृपा करके मुझको अपना लेना। गुरुदेव कृपा करके मुझको अपना लेना। करुणा निधि नाम तेरा करुणा बरसाओ तुम। करुणा निधि नाम तेरा करुणा बरसाओ तुम। सोए हुए भाग्य को हे नाथ जगाओ तुम। सोए हुए भाग्य को हे नाथ जगाओ तुम। हे नाथ जगाओ तुम। मेरी नाव भंवर ढोले उसे पार लगा देना। मेरी नाव भंवर ढोले उसे पार लगा देना। गुरुदेव कृपा करके मुझको अपना लेना। तुम सुख के सागर हो भक्ति के सहारे हो। तुम सुख के सागर हो भक्ति के सहारे हो। मेरे मन में समाए हो मुझे प्राणों से प्यारे हो। मेरे मन में समाए हो मुझे प्राणों से प्यारे हो। मुझे प्राणों से प्यारे हो। नित माला जपूं तेरी मेरे दोष भुला देना। नित माला जपूं तेरी मेरे दोष भुला देना। गुरुदेव कृपा करके मुझको अपना लेना। गुरुदेव कृपा करके मुझको अपना लेना। मैं संतों की सेवक हूँ गुरु चरणों की दासी हूँ। मैं संतों की सेवक हूँ गुरु चरणों की दासी हूँ। नहीं नाथ बुलाना मुझे इस जग में अकेली हूँ। नहीं नाथ बुलाना मुझे इस जग में अकेली हूँ। इस जग में अकेली हूँ। तेरे द्वार की भिखारी हूँ नहीं दिल से भूल तेरा तेरे द्वार की भिखारी हूँ नहीं दिल से भुला तेरा गुरुदेव कृपा करके मुझको अपना लेना गुरुदेव कृपा करके मुझको अपना लेना जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा श्रील गुरुदेव की जय
Thank you so much. So very heart singing. Srila Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj is always happy with your singing and offerings, especially Shasiya Didi. Didi, she's playing nice mridanga and learning so fast. Thank you. Kunjeshwari Didi, if you'd like to introduce us to the program today.
Hare Krishna, Dandavad Pranams everyone. So today is the second day of our meetings, and this meeting is our offering for the appearance of our Gurudev Sripad Bhaktivedanta Gosvami Maharaj, and also today is disappearance day of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and also Param Gurudeva Centennial starting as well. So today we have 9 speakers actually. So I will just tell the names of the speakers. It's Anadi Prabhu from India, Krishna Priya USA, Radha Sundari Didi UK, Govinda Priya Didi from Lithuania, Damodar Prabhu from UK, Padmanabh Prabhu from Chile, Radha Sundari Didi from Holland, Ananta Krishna Prabhu from Holland, and also Bhishma Prabhu from Lithuania. He will join actually in the middle of the speakers as well. So yes, so nice to have so much devotees and eager to hear from everyone. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranams everyone. Vanchakalpatarascha Kripasindhyacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. I'd like to welcome you all again to our satsang online in separation from our Srila Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj and in separation from all of you, but in virtual reality you are here. So we will try to glorify a little bit more about Srila Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj and then speak a little bit about Bhaktisiddhanta. And then we'll ask the first speaker, Anadi Prabhu, in about five minutes to make his offering. So we were said to Kunjeshwari, and we know today's Srila Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj's appearance day. And he appeared in West Bengal in a town called Kicharda, which is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime place that he passed through. His footprints are there in that town, and for this reason, all of Bengal is very fortunate, and the devotees of Bengal especially. And we're so fortunate to have Maharaj, who appeared in that land, in that tract of land. Bharat Bhumite Hoile Janma Sarthaka Yad, Janma Sarthakare Karo Para Upakar. So in this verse, it's saying that those personalities who are from Bharat Bhumi, from India, that their life is they're fortunate because they have this wealth of knowledge and culture that is inherent to them, inherent naturally to them. It's not foreign to them. And they are natural to this love and devotion, which is our every jiva's right to connect with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they have taken their life in their hands and they have offered it to their Gurudev and they've offered it in the service of humanity and to uplift the rest of the world, the jivas of the rest of the world. And they have sacrificed all of their own personal interests or desires or aspirations and have only taken on one aspiration, and that is to fulfill the aspiration of their Gurudev, which is the aspiration of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that is to spread the holy names of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivash Adi Shikora Bhakta Vrinda all around the world. And with that, with the chanting of the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. To spread this mantra and make it available to all of us. And that's how I think we all feel, that we are so fortunate to come at their lotus feet and be part of that mission and that dedication. This is what I feel and believe the Gurudev wants us to do. So we're also blessed today. Today is the appearance day of disappearance day of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, an acharya that changed the whole Sampradaya's presentation of how preaching should be done. He established the Brihad Madanga and the printing of the books and the literature, and he continued the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through Sri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and himself, who practiced these principles. And his most wonderful austerity that he performed was to chant for a continuous number of years, intensely concentrating on the chanting of the Maha Mantra for 10 continuous years. And his bhajan and sadhana was so intense that we can see in his life how he affected and influenced many great stalwart sannyasis that we have been made very fortunate of. And of them, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Srila Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Nitya Madhav Goswami Maharaj, and all many others that I can, and Bhakti Siddhanta Swami Prabhupada. So we are not short of inspiration in those personalities. So we're very fortunate today. We're celebrating those acharyas in the representation of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. And we are very honored today also that it is Maharaj's appearance day, and we'd like to join those two auspicious days together and invite the speakers to come and offer their heartfelt offerings to them. But we have a little anecdote to read before each speaker comes on, and this is an anecdote from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta himself, which was written in the Harmonist. And he asks certain questions. He asks 8 questions on his the disciple asking questions to him and his answers. So the first question is to the first speaker. Not that I'm asking the question to the speaker, of course, but just before the speaker is coming, I'd like to share this with you. So the first question the disciple is asking: is it necessary to be in the association of saintly persons at all times? And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta answers, we must be in the sadhu sangha at every moment. I am weak. Without sadhu sangha, I cannot possibly save myself. If I remain far away from sadhu sangha, then I will fall prey to the ill mentality that I am the master. If we do not live in accordance with the instructions of sadhu or the guru, then we will be plunged into great calamity. The moment we are without shelter, Maya will capture us. Consequently, we will roam here and there in this material world as a servant of Maya. So in these words, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta is saying how important it is to have sadhu sangha. And we are very fortunate Srila Maharaj is continuing that availability to us to provide that sadhu sangha that is the personification of all of our acharyas. So without much ado, I'd like to invite Anadi Prabhu from India. He's been Maharaj's servant for a while in Mathura, and he lives in Delhi himself. He's a lovely personality, a young devotee, but a very sincere and loving heart. So if I can introduce him, I can't see him on our screen at the moment. Kunjeshwari. Anadi Prabhu, there you are. Thank you very much for coming. If you'd like to unmute yourself. Thank you.
Yes, I have done.
Thank you very much. Welcome to England to start with, and to the rest of the world, of course. And please share with us your offering to Srila Maharaj and your realizations.
15 minutes.
Yeah, we have 15 minutes, and we have a system of the bell to start.
After 10 minutes.
And after 10 minutes, I'll ring the bell again to let you know that we have 5 more minutes left. Please keep to the timing. We am sure you will. Thank you.
He will have to unmute.
Okay.
No.
Anali Prabhu, we cannot hear you. Could you please unmute
Hare
your mic?
Krishna, can you hear me?
Now, yes.
Okay, actually host is again and again muted me. Okay. Okay, Anand Prabhu, now you can hear me? Okay. So, Gurve Gauri Chandraye Radhikaye Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaye Tad Bhaktaye Namo Namah Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjan Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah Namo Vishnupadaye Gaur Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Gosvami Namane Vandeham Bhakti Chakoram Gaurang Nij Preshtitam Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Vanam Namastubhyam Shri Radha Eknishtitam Rasayana Kathamritam Sankirtanam Anandadham Goswaminam Vanam Namah Vancha Kaltarupishcha Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. All together, please. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity that I can speak a little about my Gurudev. So, first of all, I pay my humble obeisances to the lotus feet of my Gurudev, my spiritual master, Om Vishnupada Ashtottara Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Srila Gurudev Van Maharaj. And after that, I pay my humble obeisances to Anang Mohan Prabhu, Yamuna Didi, and all my loving dear God brother and sisters. Today is very auspicious day. Today is the appearance day of our appearance day of our spiritual master Bhaktivedanta Maharaj. And we have already celebrated in Delhi today. It was a very joyful program today. We enjoyed a lot there. Many God brother and sister glorify Gurudev there, and after that we eat in a great tasty prasadam. And I heard in Harikatha somewhere that Mahaprabhu told to someone, I don't know who is that. So he told that if you are eating the prasad of anyone's disappearance day or appearance day, then in any birth you will get the bhakti of Krishna for sure. So that's why I am in Aligarh and I went to Delhi. It is 200 kilometer around. So I went there for just eating prasad. So maybe in any birth I will get the bhakti of Krishna. So so actually I am from the very topmost what we can say a topmost tamasic family. But since my childhood I had a desire in my mind that who is God? Who is God? I'm looking for God, and I ask so many questions to so many peoples that who is God and who we are. Many peoples are worshipping different demigods, gods. So there are many Bhagwans. So who is the supreme personality of Godhead? Then I will only serve Him. So I got that different answer. So and I visited different pilgrimage and different dhara like Osho dhara and Radha Swami dhara and Art of Living Shishi Ravi Shankar ji. So many places I went, but I didn't got the peace of mind. I was looking for I started following Osho dhara, and there is I just learned one thing that if you want to get peace of your mind, so what you have to do, you have to fulfill your all your senses desire, whatever you have in your mind, you have to just fulfill that as much as you can. And after that, when you fed up all these things, then you will get the peace of mind. So I had only this desire, this mind. I had only this mindset that sense gratification is the solution, or is is the thing that I can get peace of mind. But it is useless. Nothing is there. Nothing. So what happened? I heard After some time, I heard about ISKCON, and I went there, and I met one Prabhuji there, whose name is Dayal Chaitanya Prabhu, and he told me to chant Harinam. He told me, whatever you are doing, just chant the holy name, only 2 mala per day. And I started chanting, and dramatically changed arrived in my life. There is a change came in my life. So the change came. I asked so many times ISKCON's people that where is Gaudiya is, where is Gaudiya, but nobody replied me, clearly where is Gaudiya. And I heard about Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, that who is he? So he never replied me. He never replied. So what happened? I don't know what they want, what they said. Then my desire, my curiosity increases day by day. I was just looking for on. I searched on Google that where is Gaudiya Math nearby me, and I found Sri Raman Bihari Gaudiya Math in Delhi. So I found that. I went there, and I met there Shuk Krishna Prabhu. So Shuk Krishna Prabhu told me something about Gaudiya Math and ISKCON. What is the difference? Then there was a program was running on of Bhakti Vallabh Tirth Goswami Maharaj or in Faridabad, and I went there. And what happened? I met my loving dear God brother Sham Prabhu there. And Sham Prabhu, he told me so many spiritual things there. He told me so many spiritual things. And then what happened? Gurudev was not in India that time. He was in Brazil. So on October, he came in India. And when he came, I met first time with Gurudev. I heard about Gurudev, but I never met him before. At the first day on October, when I met with Gurudev, he asked my name, that what is your name? And I said, Ashwani. So he said, Ach, what are you doing? What do you do? So I said that I'm working somewhere and all like this. So he asked some questions. Okay. And Sham Prabhu told to Gurudev that he would like to take Harinam with you. Okay. Then Gurudev gave me at the first day, okay, come into my room. Then Damodar Prabhu was there from UK, and he was some Achman and did some kriya there, and then I took Harinam there, and that was the wonderful day of my life when I took the initiation from my Gurudev, and it was really amazing feeling that time I cannot express, and he gave me Harinam, and after that, since then, whenever Gurudev is in India, I always, Sham Prabhu always call me, Gurudev is in India, he is coming, come to me, then we will go to airport to pick up the Gurudev. Okay, so we both, Sham Prabhu and me, and Rashmi Didi, Puneet Prabhu, we always used to go to take, Gurudev from the airport, receive from the airport. And then wherever Gurudev wherever Gurudev is in India, he used to go somewhere. So me, always behind him, always behind him. Anadi, you have to come with me. Okay, Anadi, come. So me and Sham Prabhu, and always with Gurudev, whenever Gurudev is in India. So he is so merciful. He is so merciful that he gave me so much, association of him. He gave me so much chance to serve that whenever Gurudev is in Mathura, first time when in Keshavji Gaudiya, I went there. So it was very old building. First time I saw, oh, it's very old. But Gurudev started Katha there. And Gurudev asked after Hari Katha, Anadi, did you hear Hari Katha? I said, yes, Gurudev. So he said, what did you understand? I was shocked. I was scared that what should I say? Because Gurudev's accent is little bit Bengali. So in the starting days, it was so much problem for me to understand that. So I said, Gurudev smiled that, okay, you didn't understand anything. Then, yes, Gurudev. So he said, okay, no problem. Gradually, you will come to know what I am saying because there is little bit, maybe, accent. So Gurudev was chanting Harinam in Keshavji Gaudiya. Then he asked so many questions to me there. And then time passes on. So the things which changed, that really what I shared. When we were in Bhuj, Gurudev was doing Bhagavatam there. So after completing the Bhagavatam or giving the rest of Bhagavatam, when Gurudev was coming, we were coming back to Delhi. So me, Anang Mohan Prabhu, and Yamuna Didi and Shila Gurudev was sitting there. So Anang Mohan Prabhu was asking some questions to Gurudev, something about need or desire. So at the Ahmedabad airport. So when Anang Mohan Prabhu was asking, so I was just hearing something because I was not so much able to understand all these things, but just so I asked Gurudev, Gurudev, may I ask one question? Gurudev said, yes, please. I asked Gurudev, Gurudev, if someone is, engaging himself to completing his body needs, then what is the problem there? Why we are calling it as sin? Some people are attracting towards someone. So what is the problem there? It's the body needs. So everybody wants this. So if they are doing this, then what is the problem there? So Gurudev gave me a tough look and then smiled. And he asked me, okay, tell me one thing. What is the meaning of need? And I said, I was quiet that time. Nothing. Gurudev said, one thing. Look, need. What is need? There was a child who needs food. There is a young boy who also needs food. And old man, he also needs food. So this is the essential need of body, right? I said, yes. And if someone, the question you were asking, a baby boy never needs something, apart from foods and all stuff. The question you asked about desire, yes, to, yeah, okay. So this is very important. This is the, really amazing moment of my life. I never heard the reply Gurudev gave, because I was just thinking that whatever we are doing, it's all our body needs. But Gurudev changed my mind. He said, no, this is not body needs. This is the desires of your mind, which is coming out from your mind. It is not the body need. Body needs, one cannot live without the thing that is need. But the desires always comes from mind. So what you have to do, you have to chant the holy name for controlling your mind. And when you control your mind, then all your body will be, nice. There is no problem to handle anything. And I was so much amazed, shocked that time. Oh, really? It is, it was amazing moment, and that changed my life. I left everything and all, and then I started always, to be with Gurudev. I started to be with Gurudev from that time. So this is the amazing moment of my life, and that changed my life. And since then, I'm just, trying to follow the footstep of Gurudev. Maybe one day I will, you know, I will learn. I will be capable what he wants to say, what he wants to, want from me, because he has given me so much time, but still I'm not, got as that much as I can. No, one day maybe when Gurudev will give the mercy to me, maybe I will, learn something and will be capable to serve him. Okay, and I'm really unfallen and unqualified. So if I, committed some offenses, so please forgive me. It is my first time that I'm glorifying Gurudev. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and I want to Jeshwari Didi. Very good. Thank you so much. Vancha kaltaru vaishya kripa sindhu vyascha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishya.
Thank you very much, Anadi Prabhu.
Thank you so much,
Very
Prabhu.
heartfelt offering. And Gurudev will be very pleased with you, I'm sure. You've done a lot of service for him. And we're missing your association as well. And because of the situation, we hope to be with you soon again and traveling again and being with Gurudev. But your realization is very wonderful, that the holy name, and Gurudev also is giving this realization from his heart. The holy name can provide everything for us. It's food for the soul. And if the soul is nourished, then the body will be nourished. We think of the other way around. We try and nourish the body, and then we think the soul will be nourished, but it doesn't work. It's frustrating. We can never be satiated with all material desires. They can never fulfill us. So thank you for that very much. So thank you again. We will hope to see you soon. Hare Krishna. So we have our next speaker is Krishna Priya Didi from USA, and I'd like to share with you our second question from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, which is, how can one be delivered from the cycle of material existence, samsara? And the answer Srila Bhakti Siddhanta he gives is, without the mercy of Bhagwan, no one can ever be delivered from material bondage. We are the eternally purchased slaves of Krishna. As soon as we forget this, we must become the slaves of Maya. Only service to Bhagwan constitutes bhakti. The desire for sense gratification is not bhakti. It's called abhakti. It is entanglement in the material existence. The only way to be delivered from this disastrous material existence is to hear Hare Krishna Katha from Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas, accompanied by self-surrender, submissive inquiry, and a service attitude. By hearing Hare Katha with affection, priti, the tendency to get entangled in material existence will come to an end. So Bhaktisiddhanta is saying that by hearing Hare Katha from the lips of Vaishnavas and Sri Guru, that these material entanglements will be destroyed. And this is also the message of Srila Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj, that his life and soul is Hare Katha. He once told me that the way he wants to leave this material world is by at the moment of giving Hare Katha. So at every moment he is giving Hare Katha, all the time. And this is his glory. So next I would like to invite Krishna Priya Didi from USA. And she's a yoga teacher who brings bhakti teachings and kirtan into the class that she presents. She does digital preaching as well through devotional videos. And she's a coordinator of Krishna Bhakti Yoga in service to Srila Gurudev. So before this pre-pandemic kirtan program at yoga studios, and she likes Harinam Sankirtan and book distribution, and currently a little free libraries due to the pandemic, again learning Sanskrit and Indian classical music and more kirtan. I know Krishna Priya Didi, we met in Holland a few times, and Seattle also when we were traveling with Srila Gurudev. And she is a very lovely devotee, sincere, and always wanting to serve. And she's helped also in editing lectures and classes of Gurudev and some of his books as well. So without much ado, we'd like to introduce her, please. So Krishna Priya Didi, I saw you earlier. There you go. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much, Dhanava Pranams, and thank you for your introduction. Thank you, Kunjeshwari, for putting on this amazing program. This is, or everyone, I'm sure so many people were involved. This is such a beautiful offering. It's really inspiring to see, and I think it's such a beautiful representation of all of the lives that Gurudev touched, and it's so amazing. I was watching the class yesterday, and yeah, it's just really wonderful to see. So thank you. I wanted to sing something, if that's okay. Does that work all right?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So
I'm a little nervous, so.
It's just we have a time constraint of 15 minutes, but I'm sure you'll understand.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
I'll watch the time. Okay. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Gora Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Vanaiti Namine Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjanan Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. All right. So it's Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya. If you like, you can sing along. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Karo e Dase Chinapekshayatihina Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Karue Dase Chinapekshayatihina Sakale Sahane Baladiya Kharo Nijamane Sprihahina Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Karo Dase Chinapekshayati Hina Sakale Samana Karite Shakati Sakale Samana Karite Shakati Dehanata Yata Yata Tabito Gaiba Harinama Suke Aparadha Behata Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Karoe Dase Chinapekshayati Hina Kabehena Kripa Labhiyae Jana Kritartha Hai Benata Shakti Buddhi Hina Amiyati Dina Karamore Anmasata Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Karoe Dase Chinapekshayati Hina Yogyata Vichare Kichunai Pai Tomara Karuna Sara Karuna na hoile Kadiya Kadiya Pranana Rakhi Bhara Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Karoe Dase Chinapekshayati Hina Gurudev Gurudev Gurudev. All right, so what can I say about Gurudev except that I am probably the best example of his mercy, as I am extremely not qualified for bhakti, but yet his causeless mercy came into my life and completely transformed everything. Just starting from Harinam to going to Diksha, and after that, everything has just completely changed for me. It's really hard to even quantify, and so much of what he's doing I know is beyond what I can even perceive, and yet I see it constantly as things change and transform, and that to me is such a beautiful gift from his blessings and his teachings and his mercy. I would say like how I started my journey and found Gurudev, or how Gurudev found me, was through yoga originally. I was a yoga teacher and had so many misconceptions, like being in that world and all these different philosophies and getting into this kind of like new age sort of stuff. But it was really an opening to God consciousness. And I remember my yoga teachers saying, every religion has something beautiful to give and to teach. And I thought, that's kind of interesting, because I had grown up kind of agnostic, more like atheistic sort of family and upbringing and such. It was just kind of like, believe whatever you want, but we're not really into religion. So I was kind of anti-religious stuff for a while, just Christianity, Catholicism, it wasn't really my thing. And so when my yoga teacher said that, it really changed my mind, my consciousness a little bit, to open the door a little towards God. And they taught some mantras and told some pastimes of like Ganesh and Shiva, and Parvati, you know, and a little bit about Krishna. And they said, I think the one thing that they said there was that he had many wives. That was kind of like the thing that stood out to me. But they also had us chant the Maha Mantra. And I remember the Harinam Sankirtan from the ISKCON temple was right outside of our yoga studio window, and I could hear the kirtan from our yoga training. So I think that was kind of one of my first openings to bhakti. And then after this, I was so inspired. I was like, oh, I love this mantra stuff. I want to learn more about the spiritual philosophy. Like, that's what's really attractive to me. But it's so hard to find in the West because so much of yoga is just, you know, the asana and this kind of a little more body oriented, a little more superficial. So I had this desire, this yearning in my heart to find that. And then I met a devotee, and he actually knew a friend of mine, and he was a really great preacher. His name is Janardhan Das, and he gave me a Bhagavad Gita, and he just preached this wonderful qualities of the Maha Mantra. He said, if you chant the Maha Mantra, your whole life will change, all your problems will go away. I was like, that sounds pretty great. I'll give that a shot. So I started chanting, and I was hearing from him and hearing all these wonderful glories of bhakti yoga. And it's like, wow, you know, this is really kind of what I was desiring in terms of like this deeper spiritual philosophy and of yoga and learning these different mantras and pujas. I was like, wow, this is really great. So I was inspired, kept doing it, kept chanting. And then he was sending me all these resources, all these websites, and you know, Pure Bhakti, Kirtan, so on and so forth. And then finally, he sent me a video of Gurudev, and Gurudev was leading a kirtan, and I think it was in India, because he had his danda, and he was in the streets, and there were so many people with him, and so many people were just looking so happy and so inspired and singing this, you know, to me at the time, it was music. I was like, wow, this is so amazing, you know, that so many people can come together over this one person who's obviously got such a, you know, a power, a momentum around him to lead all these people. Everyone's dancing and just flowing in this beautiful way around him. And I was so overcome with emotion by that. And I was like, wow, this is such an amazing person. And I told my friend, I was like, oh, I was so inspired by that video. It's just amazing. He said, you know, I think that person is your guru. I was like, wait, what? Really? I can have a guru? Like, that's so amazing. You know, because it's just such a foreign concept. It was to me at the time that was even possible, like in this day and age, to find like a real guru. And so I was like, okay, that's great. I don't know how I'll ever meet this person, but that sounds like a good idea, right? And then I kind of put it on the back burner for a while in my mind, and just kept with the practice and so on and so forth. And then I remember, I think it was some months later, and I had set up my altar, like via my friend's instructions. He's like, oh, you know, get Radha Krishna in the middle, put Nitai Gauranga there, put some pictures up, offer flowers, do incense. So I set up this beautiful altar, and was doing a little bit of practice there, you know, just what I knew and what I could do for my adhikar at the time. And then he said, put a picture of Srila Prabhupada on your altar and pray to Srila Prabhupada every day. Pray for a guru to come to you. And I said, okay, because he said Srila Prabhupada is like the guru of all of, you know, the Westerners. He brought bhakti to the Western world. And so I prayed to Srila Prabhupada, because by this point, honestly, like I had some great things going in my life, like yoga and this kind of spirituality this spiritual path that I was going into. But it was honestly kind of forced on me by so much Maya in my life, like so many waves of hardship and samsara, just Maya kind of like smashing me, and I so bewildered, you know, by karma, just like why am I suffering, you know? And so I was really earnest at this point, just like, you know, I really want to have a spiritual life and to find this path. And so I was praying to Srila Prabhupada and doing this whole thing. And it was like maybe a month later when I got a message from Janardhan Prabhu, and he told me that our Gurudev was coming to Seattle, and he was coming and he was going to be at a program with another devotee that I hadn't even met yet, Hemant Prabhu, who hosts many Vaishnavas who come, and Ananga Mohan and Yamuna Didi, they stayed at his house as well. And that's where the programs were. And so this was like a month after I was praying so much to Srila Prabhupada, and Gurudev came, and it was just such an answering to all prayers. It was so confirming of, like, affirming of that prayer, you know, that someone was listening. And this was the guru that originally from that kirtan, you know, that I was so moved by. So it was such a beautiful orchestration of events. And then I went and I heard from him. And I remember, like, even the first class that I heard from him was in Hindi. And then, like, it was very difficult for me to understand anything because I was so new at the time. There was so much Sanskrit. There was so much new knowledge. I was so new. But I just remember from his Harikatha, like, this sweetness in his eyes, and like, just so much love emanating from him, like an ocean of love. I was like, I can't even understand anything right now, but I know that this person is like made of love. Like, so yeah, he's just so inspirational, and so meaningful in my life. So sorry.
Hare Krishna. Excuse me to interrupt you. Just I want to let you know that like 10 minutes or a bit more already passed.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's see. So after that, I was really dedicated and was like, well, as much as I could be. There are so many people that are much more dedicated than I. But for what I was capable of, I felt like, all right, I'm going to put as much dedication into this as I can muster and go and travel and see Gurudev when I'm able. So I went to Mexico City, and it was a very similar experience there, you know, still learning about bhakti just bit by bit, like grasping little shreds of knowledge. But his mercy really came through. And I remember something in particular, like every time that I would see him, I would just go into full dandavats on the ground. And I think at one point Ananga Mohan chastised me a little bit because I was doing it just like in, like, wherever, you know, it's like like someone might have been behind me and I would just go into dandavats. But so I try to be a little bit more conscious now of my surroundings before I just go full on dandavats. But I just remember Gurudev smiling and laughing so much. He was so, like, so merciful, even though I was obviously so new, you know, like knew very little, and like a Westerner, you know, growing up in all these different backgrounds, like, that are just not so familiar to bhakti. So it just, to me, that's what is so incredible about Gurudev and about, like, many Vaishnavas, is that they're so, like, they have so much fame, they have so much awe and reverence, people serving them, so much surrounding them, yet they're able to give so much individual attention and affection to each person. And that's what I really felt from him. Like, he has so many disciples, right? Like thousands of disciples, and yet he is able to see each person individually and really give them what they need.
Thank
And
you.
What's that?
Thank you very
Jai
much.
Shri
Jai Shri Gurudev.
Oh, is it all done? Okay. Hare Krishna.
It's all done.
Quite fast.
It goes very quickly.
All right. Thank you for listening. Sorry for my tears.
Thank you for your absorption and sharing that with us and your love and devotion to your Gurudev as well. Exemplary. And
Only by your mercy, Prabhu.
It's everybody's mercy, Gurudev's mercy. Thank you for sharing that with us. You made some good, very nice points about what is a real guru, how to recognize the guru. You know, he's totally absorbed and he's totally detached and he's full of shastric knowledge. So all of those things came out. So very nice. Thank you. We'll ask again more and more people to speak for longer, but we have so many other speakers. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yasya kripa sindhu devacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So we have the third question by the disciples to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. The question is, should one accept disciples? And the answer is, without becoming a Shuddha Bhakta or a Mukta, liberated soul, a person should not accept disciples. First, he should become a disciple himself by taking shelter of a bona fide guru, and he should also hear Harikatha from his lips. Then, in his own life, he should practice all he has heard from his Sri Guru. Thereafter, by humbly performing kirtan, that is, repeating to others what he has heard, gradually he may also become Guru himself. And again, we see this exemplary in Srila Bhaktivedanta Gosvami Maharaj. It is self-deception to think I will be intentionally remain laghu, insignificant forever. One must become Guru. This means one has to become a true devotee of Krishna, fully engaging all one's senses in service to Krishna at every moment. This does not necessarily mean that one must accept disciples. Still, by the desire of Bhagavan, some Shuddha Bhaktas impart instructions for the welfare of the people in general. They are devoid of any selfish motive in doing so. Their purpose is to make those who are laghu, insignificant, become guru, become significant, to make those averse to Bhagavan inclined towards him, and to make everyone a devotee of Krishna. Okay. So, again, all these descriptions are, I can see in Srila Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj's dedication. He's always repeating what his Gurudev has taught him, and in his actions, in his behavior, in his etiquette, is totally in line with our Guru Varga. So next, I'd like to introduce Bhishma Prabhu. I can see you on screen with Tarani Didi. Welcome to our presentation. So we just like to introduce you, as we also have been to your house and you've invited us, welcomed us, and with Srila Maharaj. And I know you have great love and affection for him, and you always want him to come and stay with you. You are very humble, you're very simple, but you're very down to earth. You have a very beautiful farm, and Maharaj installed your date, beautiful deities, life-size Radha Krishna. And we can see in the background, there they are. And Srila Gurudev's Murti as well, the beautiful darshan. And please share with us your realizations and your Dana pranams to your whole family. Can you get rid of this little phone?
I'm muted.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, no.
We are muted. Can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
We're unmuted. Haribo Dandavats.
Hello, pranam everybody. So nice to see everyone.
Oh,
Hare Krishna.
at least a few familiar faces here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's a
Dasya Gananjana Shalakya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Om Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shishimam Bhaktivedanta Narayana Kinamine. So Taruni and I we're just thankful to be invited for this. And Jayashree, who we're in the same country, by the way, for the rest of you. Labas. Labas Ganesha. So I came to this country, Lithuania, 14 years ago, and Maharaj, Van Maharaj had already been traveling to this country for 2 or 3 years, I believe. And my house is a very simple house. It's Ananga Mohan was very humble to sleep in my closet. He had a, yeah. I had some small space, and it's such a small house that Maharaj would stay opposite of Thakurji here on our couch, and other devotees in another house some few kilometers from here, miles for the Americans. As Maharaj said, or Prabhu said, yeah, Maharaj, she's very merciful. I remember when I met him, 2000, I was still a young kid, teenager, not young kid, teenager, 13 or 14 years old. 2001, I think I met him. He had just taken his sannyas, and everybody was talking about this Subal Saka Prabhu. He got sannyas from Gurudev, and sent him to the West to inspire us, because there was nobody else internationally traveling from Gurudev's temples. He was first, which can show you the faith that Gurudev had in him to let him go and preach on his behalf. Gurudev said that he represents me, and he will inspire you while I am not, there, because in Badger, where I'm from, it was a large community, and we were anxious to see if Gurudev would come twice a year. But Gurudev, I understand, didn't like winter, and in Badger we have winter. So he would send he sent Maharaj, and I remember that time it was quite cold. I think he came January or February. It was cold, and he wanted to go for a japa walk, and that day it was actually kind of clear out, no clouds. And so from where he was staying in our Gurukul, our school where we were going, Virgindanandan Prabhu's house, if we just went for a short, like 1 kilometer walk, and we could see the distance some 100 kilometers away, these tall mountains, like 4,000 meter elevation. And I was just not really understanding who he is or what level he is, because I didn't even understand that about anything, not much of a child pundit, nor am I a pundit today. But I was just associating with him like an ordinary person. Like I didn't understand really his nature. And he had no problems with that. He just accepted my conversation, and seemed very, looking back at it at the moment, I can't tell you what I was thinking at that moment, but looking back, I remember it's like, even from my first encounter with him, he was very nice to me. And now, almost 20 years later, he still has a same familiar, like, sweet disposition. And those are just my early memories with Maharaj. He, can I say else? From those times, he was very inspirational for our community, because Gurudev, obviously, some of you may not know much about New Braj, because I don't see many of my Guru by here, only 2, 3 actually. I don't recognize any of these, mostly from India or other places. But New Braj was Gurudev's like Western Braj, basically. That's why he called it New Braj. And Maharaj was a very inspiring example of what we can become if we would just follow Gurudev properly. That you can judge a guru 2 ways, many ways. When you want to understand his nature, you can say, you can look at his best disciple and see the potential that you have if you can just follow. And then you can look at someone like me as the worst example of how bad it could be. But Maharaj is more of an example of what you can get from association of pure devotee. Now Srila Gurudev is gone now, but his example gave us the likes of Sripad Maharaj, for example, and others. This last year, finally 2020 is over, we lost two very great examples of what you could achieve by the association of great sadhus. We lost our Sripad Bhaktivedanta Tirtha Maharaj, and we also lost our Sripad Krishnadas Prabhu, who Krishnadas Prabhu was never a traveling international preacher, but in his time with Gurudev, international travels, he was really like our, for the younger devotees, he was like our inspiration, our fire, his kirtan. And Van Maharaj, he also would, and I remember that year he came to Badger that first time, he sang amazing kirtans, and he led everybody together with these wonderful kirtans. And I remember one particularly that he sang every day with us at night. It was called Manare Gora Kata, which I'm sure all of his disciples know that he likes that bhajan a lot. But I remember that, and his kirtan was something that really showed us who he was. Because day and night, he's thinking of Gora, just like in that song. Now, more recent memories, I don't want to talk about myself at all. It's not about me or any of that, but some time ago, I was fortunate enough to be able to acquire these Thakurji and our Gurudev Murti here. And Sripad Ban Maharaj was merciful enough to invite the Pran Pratishtha into them. And he's given us a very wonderful addition to our family by doing so. We had them for a couple of years before Maharaj was able to do proper installation, and afterwards everything changed. And like the energy with them changed a lot. We're not serving them to the capacity of some devotees, and certainly not to the capacity of the temples in India. But we still feel like because of him and his relationship with them, Srila Radha Raman Bihari, as he gave them names, same as in Delhi Mat, that our house is a little bit, what do you say? It's a little fuller now. I understand that he goes all over the world and inspires people. Similarly, I see in Brazil, like so many nice ashrams, temples, Russia, Australia. He's really doing the best he can to fill a gap where what we're missing from our Gurudev. It's been 10 years now, nearly. After 4 days will be 10 years from when Gurudev left. Well, actually, he left on 29th December, but if we follow that other calendar, moon calendar. But I'd have to say that Maharaj's character, his nature, has not changed from the time of Gurudev. Gurudev made Maharaj the way he is, and Maharaj has maintained himself in that manner, which is a great example, a great inspiration to not drift away and become something different, something bogus, useless. He's only improved the qualities he has by being more merciful. Like, for example, obviously, he doesn't have to come to very simple, poor, small community Lithuania, every year or every other year as he's maintained. He can happily chant bhajan and Govardhan and be peaceful, but it's through his disciples that he's coming. He's not coming for his own sense gratification. He's as Turdi was saying, Vaishnava needs nothing from us. We can give him nothing. But Vaishnava allows people like us to give something that's useless to him, just for our own happiness. And that's what he's doing. He's doing this is all over the world. He's doing like this.
He's accepting,
He's just
so he can give mercy to us.
Yeah.
That's you know, that merciful Vaishnava. This is a function of merciful Vaishnava who goes around the world and preaches this mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and allows people to bring flour, to give a chapati, to give anything they can, really, so they can spill oceans and oceans of mercy on top of our heads. And what would be?
There's a Ananga Mohan, maybe when I'm done, you can explain this better. They say that it's only the greed of the disciple that attracts the guru to that disciple, or the greed of that community that attracts the Vaishnava to return to that community. I remember in Bengal, I was going on prachar with Sripad Tirtha Maharaj, and those Bengalis, they have so little, a mud floor for Maharaj to sleep on, and that's what he sleeps on. Maharaj receives, there's nothing there for him to accept except 50 grams of rice from every family, but he goes anyway. He would go anyway. He's gone now, but he would go anyway and accept that 50 grams of rice. And him accepting that 50 grams of rice from those Bengali devotees meant the world to all of them. You cannot imagine that feeling. And so for us, we offer our little simple old 150-year-old home with a very small restroom and a very short door. I say, Maharaj, I was like, it's.
Ananga Mohan knows he smiles.
I said to Maharaj, I said, you would be more comfortable if you were to go on Bengal Prachar with Tirtha Maharaj, and you would be taken care of so much better, but you still came here anyway. So last time he was in Lithuania, I just asked him one more time in the car before he drove to Poland. I said, Maharaj, just please never forget this community. Please always at least come back to the community. And if you would desire to stay in my house, you're always welcome to stay in my house. And so I hope that his disciples remain greedy, who are here and all around the world, to keep encouraging him to continue traveling. And as long as his disciples desire his association, he'll remain with you.
Yes.
The sad story about Srila Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. It got to the point, I heard this from one disciple of Prabhupada, that Prabhupada no longer felt wanted by his disciples, so he left. So if Maharaj's disciples continue to have that greed for him, he will stay around and he'll continue to come to your places, your communities. I don't know how much longer I have to speak, so I think I'll stop now before I get crazy.
If you want to round up, but
yeah, I think that'll be it, because I may keep talking. That's what I tend to do.
thank you.
I hope I was clear, not confusing with anything I said.
Not at all, and you were very clear, very sincere. Your heartfelt offerings we felt, and we felt them even more because we were there with him, with you, and with everyone, and we know exactly what you're saying. It's not what you have, it's the love in your heart.
Srila Maharaj is accepting the greed, like you said, the strong desire, and we have been traveling with Maharaj all over the world, in all different places, very opulent places and very simple places, and it's always exactly the same Vaishnav, the same sadhu, and this is what you expressed, and he's always taking the greed offering from the heart in a very beautiful way, and it has been such an amazing example for us, and such teachings that we have received from Srila Maharaj, from being such a genuine, such a beautiful sadhu, completely dedicated to the mission of his spiritual master and all of our Guru Varga. And we've always
Exactly.
love and devotion in his heart, and this is what you have beautifully expressed. Thank you so much. We have a fond memory of your very beautiful welcome in Lithuania and your beautiful house. And when we see this picture of Thakurji, it looks like a very beautiful temple, and this is what your heart is like. Thank you so much. Jai.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting us. Thank you, Kundeshwari Didi. Thank you, everyone. It was very nice to see you all.
I think we're going to sign out now because it's getting late for
Thank you.
the rest of Lithuania. Will continue on.
The third question.
So thank you, Vishnu Prabhu. So we'll go to the Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's disciples' fourth question. Is Krishna the wealth of Guru? Answer. Srila Gurudev is the proprietor of Bhagavan. Bhagavan, Shri Krishna, is the wealth of Shri Gurudev. So only Shri Guru can give us Bhagavan. It is solely the mercy of Shri Guru that one will attain Krishna's mercy and have darshan of him. So Krishna is with Guru is answering Vishnu Prabhu's question, and the faith that one has in their Guru is the reciprocation that he will give to his disciple. So the more the disciple is surrendered, the more Guru will give Krishna to him, and the more Krishna will manifest to them and in their heart, in their house as well. So I'd like to invite Radha Sundari Didi from UK to offer her Pushpanjali. She's the darling daughter of Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj. She's very simple, very sincere. And please, if you could share your offering with us today, it will be really appreciated.
Thank you, Prabhuji and Didi. My Dandvat pranams to you. Sia would like to say something first, if that's okay.
Gyana Timadasse Gyananjana Salake Chaksho Mertemyen Dasme Shri Guruven Vajkalpatu Baje Kapasindu Vaja Vatam Pavne Bo Vaishve Bo Namo Namo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. I like when Gurudev helps us, does Hari Katha and Kirtan, and when he helps us to get to Krishna consciousness.
How is your chanting, Sia?
So far, I've done 2.
Great, good. Keep going. Thank you, Didi.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Om Jnana Tirmadase Jnananjana Salakya Chakshuran Militam Yene Tasme Shri Guruve Namah. Namah Vishnupadaya Gaura Prasthaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Vanite Namane Vanchakalpatarvascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavane Bo Vaishnave Bo Namo Namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I'd like to pay my most humble and respectful obeisances to my beloved spiritual master Srila Bhaktivedanta Vana Gosvami Maharaj Ji and my Param Gurudev Om Vishnupad Nitya Leela Om Vishnupad Stotra Sata Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Ji and Nitya Leela Om Vishnupad Stotra Sata Srimad Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj Ji and to Shriman Anang Mohan Prabhuji and Srimati Yamuna Didi Ji and all senior devotees and all assembled devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. I am actually very honored to be able to speak, and I do feel this is an arrangement that Gurudev has made, because when Gunjeshwari Didi, she messaged me, I just thought, oh, I think Gurudev probably knew my heart's desire, where I used to just think to myself, oh, if I was to say something about Gurudev, this is what maybe I would say. And little thoughts used to come through my mind, but I used to think, but I'm not qualified. There's no way I can glorify Srila Gurudev and his wonderful ways and what he does, because I don't understand. But just I wanted to share just a little experience that I've felt from, wow, his love. I was introduced to Srila Gurudev from actually my brother Damodar, who was a disciple already, and so I had some idea of Srila Gurudev, and Damodar used to tell me about Gurudev, but I never really felt the desire to have a guru at that time, so I never really used to understand. And through Damodar, that's when I first met Srila Gurudev, and I believe that was in 2016. I think it was around December time, and Srila Gurudev, he gave me his sidelong glance, and I remember being there and being very fallen and just, probably causing so many offenses at that time. But he was so merciful and gave me that sidelong glance. And then in 2017, he mercifully gave me Harinam, and I was really rock bottom at that point in the ocean of Maya. I was just, but no, I didn't even ask him for Harinam. He gave me Harinam, and, gave me, it's just like, chant this medicine. It's not what he said at the time, but I'm just thinking through his Harikatha, that's what he says, take this medicine, chant. So yeah, I just felt like, oh, this is exactly what I needed. It was just, my soul was yearning for this. And I just felt like I'd been forgiven for all my sins because Srila Gurudev has accepted me. So that was just like, oh, this is what I've been looking for. And it was an amazing experience. And I remember at that time I went to Damodar and I said, does this mean that Gurudev is my Gurudev? And he said, yes, it does. I was okay. And I just remember when Gurudev gave me Harinam, at that time he said to me, next year I'll do a program at your place. And I just looked at him, and I don't know what thoughts came over me at that time. I was thinking, okay, I just really wasn't sure how this was going to happen or what was going to happen. But anyway, come 2018, I was in quite a difficult situation at the time. However, I didn't forget Gurudev's words when he said he was going to come to the house, and I'd wanted him to come before that as well. I just wanted, his sadhu to bless the house and come, but obviously the time hadn't come. I didn't have enough sukriti or whatever the arrangement was, and it's all Srila Gurudev's arrangement. And anyway, Srila Gurudev, he just I was thinking, how is this going to happen? But through his Harikatha, when he was just like Guru Vakya Vishwas, so I was thinking, okay, Gurudev said he's going to come. He will come. In my heart, it was like, somehow he will come. Then Jayanandani Didi, who was arranging the programs in Birmingham, and then I don't know how it came about. I had a few exchanges with her. Then she asked Srila Gurudev, will he come? And then I said to Gurudev that I remember you said this to me when you gave me Harinam. So will you come? And he agreed to come. But this was just all his mercy, because he didn't come for himself. He came
for me, he came for the family, he came for everything, because at that time it was a very, very difficult situation in my life. And I just didn't even know how this program would actually physically materialize. Like, how would it happen? Because it was like the manpower needed for a program, the preparations of prasadam, and at that time I was just full of anxiety. I was such a nervous wreck. I had a young child who was at 3 at the time, was very demanding, and well, Sia, you've met her now. She's a lot older, but and I just didn't know how to cope. But Gurudev, he, Kunjeshwari Didi and Taruni Didi from Brazil, they came and they stayed over. So they were here. Srila Gurudev arranged a team. I had a couple of friends who were non-devotees who even agreed to help with prasadam. So they were there, and it was like Gurudev arranged the entire team. I don't even know how it all happened. And in my heart, I was thinking, I really want it to be ecstatic kirtan, how Gurudev does it, and I want a lot of people to be there, because sometimes at midday programs there's not that many people, so I was just thinking, I want it to be like a really like nice like atmosphere, and because that's what Gurudev's all about. And it's so funny, because I was thinking how Gurudev, when he does aarti, he walks up and down and he's dancing and chanting and singing, and but he's marching up and down. And I was thinking, I really would love that if Gurudev did that, but I was thinking the house is not big enough, he wouldn't be able to do that. Then the program happened, and there were about 35 people who attended, and the Ganga Matas came, and it was such a full house. It was just an amazing experience. And the prasadam got ready, and Taruni Didi, she made the garlands, and Kunjeshwari Didi, she helped in all the preparations of prasadam. And so it all just came together, and it's all Gurudev's mercy. He just brings it all together, and it was just so amazing. And then when the aarti was happening, Gurudev was actually doing it as he does it in halls when he's walking up and down. And I was just looking at him and I'm thinking, oh my God, you did it, Gurudev. So I remember at the end of the program, he said to me, he said, how was it? Was it okay? And I think I was just so bewildered, and I was just like, yes. But I don't think I expressed as in, wow, you actually did everything that I really wanted to happen. So it was just incredible, and it was just such a wonderful time. And I can't forget that. Like even now in my thoughts, when I think of Gurudev, I even remember the Harikatha he said when he came. It was just like you know, and I even remember him sitting in that room, and I remember him doing this, and where he took prasadam, and when he even like, you know, washed his mouth after taking prasad. And it's just like little things, and it's just so nice, like, wow, he was actually here, like, so it's just such a personal thing. And Gurudev is so merciful, because obviously I was so new, and I'm still so new, and he's just given me, he's just, how he says true love is about giving, and it's not about taking. And that's all Gurudev does. He just gives and gives and gives, and it's just endless. And you just think, wow, you know, and I think every time I hear all devotees, their offerings, and it's just so beautiful. I actually sit there and cry every time, because it just touches my heart. And I just think, you know, I just love hearing the glorifications of Srila Gurudev, and how he touches so many lives and brings us all together. And this Sangha that Kunjeshwari Didi, thank you so much for arranging. It's just so beautiful to have, like, to see everybody again, you know, even though it is in this way, it's just so wonderful. And I think another touching moment for me was, sorry, have I got much time? Have I?
3-4 minutes.
3-4 minutes, okay. Just one, I'll just finish on this one thing then. I think for me, about a month after Srila Gurudev came, I had a calamity that really entered my life, which I was just in complete utter shock about. And at that time, I just felt like when Gurudev tells his gatha about the mouse becoming the tiger, and then the tiger then being turned back into the mouse, because he didn't respect the sadhu, and I was that mouse, you know. I was just, yeah, everything was just around me had, like, my whole world had collapsed. And I just remember at that time I contacted my husband, but he wasn't able to help. I contacted my seniors in the family, they weren't able to help. And without thinking, I just picked up the phone and I thought, who do I call? I call Gurudev, and I just rang Gurudev and he answered straight away. And it was just enough. I always feel like I'm in that position, that Draupadi, I can't compare myself to Draupadi, of course, you know, but I just mean, it just reminds me of that situation where Draupadi, she called upon her 5 husbands and they couldn't protect her. She called upon her seniors. And then who did she call out to? The Lord, Sri Hari. And that's what happened with me. I called out to my Gurudev and he was there for me. And he's done everything, every single thing in my life is, all auspiciousness is because of him. And I just pray at his lotus feet that he'll just keep me there and never ever turn me away. Vanchakalpatrupasya kripa sindhu patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo.
Thank you so much, Didi. Your struggles and your trials and tribulations, Gurudev is always there with you. And that's such wonderful evidence of his potency and his transcendental nature, that no distance can separate a sincere disciple from his Gurudev in time, place, or circumstance. So whenever we think of him, pray to him, if we're sincere in our hearts, the answers always come. And that's a very nice example that you're giving to inspire us to carry on praying, calling out to him. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare
So, the 5th question that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada's disciple gave to his Gurudev, the answer he gave to his disciple. Right? The question is, what does darshan of Bhagavan mean? So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta answers, to have darshan of Bhagavan means 100% engagement of the senses in the service of Godhead. In other words, it means to serve Bhagavan with all one's senses throughout the 24 hours of the day. To be thus engaged is in fact to be established in Atma Dharma, the constitutional function of the soul, and its actual Bhagavad Dharma, internal and external spruti, transcendental vision of Krishna, which arises by Sri Guru's mercy as well as by the influence of one's bhajan, is indeed a darshan of Krishna. So the sincere calling out of Draupadi is, that's when Krishna came. And it's only when she let go of her own, even her own strength, by her own strength, she could not do anything. So she gave up her sari and she raised both hands in the air and called for Krishna, and Krishna came. So this is a nice example. So next we have Govinda Priya Didi from Lithuania. And after Govinda Priya, we'll have a little break with an offering by Kunjeshwari Didi of a cake celebration video that we'll watch. Govinda Priya Didi is from Lithuania also, another darling daughter of our Srila Bhaktivedanta Gosvami Maharaj, and a very talented musician, and she's very intelligent and always on the ball. Although she doesn't show it very much, she's very humble, very quiet, and she hides behind that quiet facade. She has so many qualities, which of course I cannot describe. But to let her offer this, her Pushpanjali, please, if you would share that with us, that would be really appreciated. Govinda Priya Didi.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat. Vanchakalpatrupasya kripasindubheva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo.
I'm so honored to be among my brothers and sisters and my seniors in this extremely auspicious occasion, and I'm really thankful for the opportunity to purify myself by trying to share something about my Guru Maharaj with you. So I really take this as an opportunity of self-purification, because recently my spiritual practice has been very, even weaker than it was already. So now, but I can see that Srila Gurudev and his merciful disciples always drag me from that well, or dark well of sense gratification, and they always give me opportunity to render some small service, and I'm really grateful for that. So Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishna Krishna Bhaktaya Tam Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. So I offer my respectful and heartfelt and sincere obeisances to my Srila Gurudev, Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Shtotar Satasishimad Bhaktivedanta Van Gosvami Maharaj, to our entire Guru Parampara and Guru Varga, to all my dear brothers and sisters and all the seniors who are present here and who are present in the world. So when I was thinking of what to share, two moments came into my mind. And first of course, I have many memories with Gurudev, and they are quite mystical, I would say. They are on some other plane that I cannot really understand yet. But two moments that I would like to share is how Srila Gurudev mystically appeared in my life, and how he mystically healed me, and he continues to do so. So 14 years ago, my journey of spiritual searching began, and I began from Catholic Church. Then I tried some other practices, such as magic, even, and Kundalini yoga, many things. But no, with all respect, no such practice could really answer my questions of who am I, and what is the purpose of life here, and how this world works, how everything exists, what is the source, what is the cause, and what is the purpose of all that. And nobody and no tradition, no other tradition could give me full answer, only partial or even none. And in 2013, I was just looking for some information on the internet, and YouTube gave me a recommendation of Srila Prabhupada's japa meditation, and I just turned his japa meditation, and it caught my heart so much that I began to listen to this recording for every day, and I used to sleep with Srila Prabhupada's voice in my head for earphones. And afterwards, I went to visit my friend in another town, maybe 200 kilometers from my hometown. And she invited me to visit her neighbor who was practicing Bhakti Yoga. And I didn't know what Bhakti Yoga was by that time. So she gave a 30-minute lecture. And within those 30 minutes, she answered all my questions that I had been questioning myself for 10 years. So 30 minutes, and I received all those answers. And I was really amazed by that. And afterwards, she asked me, "Do you know Hare Krishna mantra?" And I said, yes, I know. I'm listening to it in YouTube. And she gave me a Neem Japamala and said, "Now you can chant on the beads." And from that day on, I started chanting on the beads, and I chanted every day. And I felt that something very strong is happening in my heart. But then after some time, I felt there is some lacking. Something is lacking. And somehow I didn't know anything about Krishna. I knew only mantra, and she didn't actually explain the mantra. She was explaining, that woman, she was explaining the universe, how soul came, how jivas come, but she didn't say anything about Krishna as Bhagavan. And I was chanting this mantra without knowing about Krishna more, but suddenly, just spontaneously within my heart, this prayer came. Oh God, oh Lord, if this is your desire, if this is according to your will, please send send me a person who could really help me to reach you, help me understand myself and realize myself, my relationship with you, please. And I kept chanting Maha Mantra and praying in this way. And after 6 months, the same woman who gave me Japamala wrote me a message. Oh, you know, Sripad Bhaktivedanta Vana Maharaj is coming to Lithuania. Oh, and I sincerely, I felt straight into my heart, the impulse, very strong impulse. Yes, I have to go there. And I went there. And when Gurudev came downstairs from his room, I felt very strong energy that lifted me on my feet. And I stood up, paid obeisances together with others. And then Srila Gurudev, after but what is interesting, when he was speaking, I couldn't hear any words. Although I knew that he spoke English, I couldn't hear anything. I could hear only zzz, like this. After his lecture, he looked at me, and then I understood. I felt very strongly, my prayers have been answered. This is the answer to my prayers. But I didn't know what to do with that. So my sister from Russia, Ananda Pradayani, the next day, when I came the next day, she took me by the hand and brought me straight to Srila Gurudev's room. And he was sitting there as if waiting already, as he already knew that I was coming. And then he gave me Harinam, and really my life changed. My feelings, my understanding of life changed from that moment. And afterwards, when we came downstairs, I already could hear his Harikatha. I could understand his words. So this is also mystical. So the moral of this story is that actually Krishna hears our prayers. Doesn't matter if we know his name or not. If we have sincere desire to know him, he will lead us to the proper path and to proper personality. If you don't have any superstitions or some beforehand thoughts about what should be done or who should be coming to your life, just openly and sincerely, when you are open to Lord's will, he will direct you very easily and very wonderfully. And the next episode that I would like to share with, which is also quite mystical to me to this day, is when I first time came to Parikrama, Vrajamandal Parikrama. It was in 2016. And actually we were still in Vrindavan, in Rup Sanatan Gauriya Math. And I made a huge mistake. I ate fresh salad, the salad which were rinsed with water, fresh water, and it wasn't boiled. So that was a really huge mistake. And I got very sick. I have never been so sick in my entire life. I had never had such strong stomach problems. And the Vrindavan Parikrama was already coming to an end. And I was so worried, how can I go to Govardhan? Because it was already time to go to Govardhan. And I was so worried. I didn't know what to do, because I thought, how can I participate in Govardhan Parikrama in such condition? So I asked my sisters who were living together with me in one room, I asked them to help me to go to Gurudev, because I didn't have any strength to walk by myself. So I asked my sisters, and they helped me to reach Gurudeva's room in Srila Rup Sanatan Mat. And Gurudev saw me. He knew already that I was sick, and he was sending medicine to me, and he was asking other devotees to feed me. He was taking care of me as a father, as mother, you know. I'm really thankful. So, and then he saw me and asked me how I felt. I thought, Srila Gurudev, I'm so afraid that I cannot participate in Govardhan Parikrama. And Srila Gurudev told, okay, you just pray to Giriraj, you pray to Krishna, and everything will be all right. I took this instruction, but instead of praying to Krishna and Govardhan, I prayed to Gurudev within my heart. Srila Gurudev, please bless me so that I could participate fully in Govardhan Parikrama. And 2 days passed. It was already a time to go. And just that day when Govardhan Parikrama started, I felt as if nothing happened, as I had no disease. And I was able, with Gurudev's mercy, I was able to participate in the Govardhan Parikrama for entire 2 weeks and walk everywhere and without getting sick or getting weak. I had so much energy, of course. So Srila Gurudev healed me, because really my condition was so serious that doctors even put medicine, like, I don't know how is that called. So yeah, some doctors were coming and giving me injections, and also giving me that bag with medicine. In normal conditions, without Gurudev's mercy, I know that it wouldn't be possible to participate in Govardhan Parikrama in such a healthy condition. So Gurudev healed me.
Just we have a limited time for each speaker, so could you?
Yeah, that's it. 15 minutes already passed. Yes.
I think
2 minutes.
maybe almost. You have a few minutes still.
3 minutes.
2 minutes.
You can talk.
I just that is okay.
The ones that don't hear.
Yes,
I want
speaking.
to. Oh, Shri Gurudev, Nanda Pranam. Jai Shri Gurudev.
Thank you,
Jai Shri Gurudev.
Jai Shri Gurudev.
No, the mic. Not the mic. This is the mic. No, this one. That's, yeah.
Swagatam Gurudev. Swagatam
Gurudev. They're speaking. They can speak. Everybody can speak. Only 10 minutes. Everybody speak 10 minutes.
Yes, okay.
Gurudev says that everybody should speak 10 minutes.
Chance to everybody.
Yes, Gurudev.
I finished here. I think.
It became a mess. They saw you and everybody started to chant. Everybody wants to say hello.
Elisa, doe eens zachtjes.
Nandamon Prabhu, Dandavat.
Dandavat, pranam.
Can Gurudev speak for 10 minutes?
No escucho. ¿Qué dijo?
Again?
Can Gurudev speak for 10 minutes, please? For 5 minutes.
Let me see. Haribol, Gurudev. They're asking if you can speak like 5 minutes. They saw you and they got totally crazy.
Okay.
He said yes. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Just wait for a minute.
Yeah, no problem.
Just
Just
say yes.
as we're waiting, I'd like to say that it was our mistake. Also, we sent an invitation to Gurudev to speak and ask only after we started the program. So we'd like now to
Here he comes.
Thank you.
Please, all the speakers don't.
Here he comes.
Please keep yourself muted, everyone, so Gurudev can hear.
And some flowers. Yes, just
Okay, Haribol. Okay, just couples. Only 5 minutes I can speak. Om Agyano Timirandhrasya Gyananjanam Salakaya Chakshurmidam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah.
This is the mic.
Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhika Vai Tadalai Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namo Vancha Krudurvascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitarang Pavane Bho Vaishnave Bho Namo Namo. First of all, I offer my humble, respectful obeisances unto lotus feet of my Guru Pada Padma, Nityalila, Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashtutra Satasima Bhakti Vedanta Srila Bhavan Goswami Maharaj, and Nityalila, Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashtutra Satasima Bhakti Vedanta Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Simultaneously offer my humble, respectful Dhanavad Pranam, lotus feet of Nityalila, Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashtutra Satasima Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj, and all senior devotees and all Vaishnavis and presented all my respectful guests. So you arranged very nicely and preaching whole world glorification of our previous acharyas. So सकल जन्मे सबे माता पिता पाए Krishna Guru nahi mili bhaja hiya. In Chaitanya Bhagavad, Vrindavan Das Thakur explained, everybody will get parents, and when we take birth, then automatically we get this, we receive this body from our parents. This is true. But Krishna Bhakti, this is very, very rare. So for this regard, our Shastra explains in this way, who will give me Krishna Prem, Krishna Bhakti? That is called bona fide Guru. He will give Krishna Bhakti and Krishna Prem. Sakal janme sabe mata pita paye, Krishna Guru nahi mile bhaja hiya. For this regard, you have to worship Guru Pad Padma. This way. Aradhanam sarvesam Vishnu aradhanam param tasmat paratam deving Pradyanam samarcham. And Shivji, he told to Parvati, Aradhana Sarvesam Vishnu Aradhana Param. Vishnu Aradhana, Krishna Aradhana, that is called the best Aradhana. That means our worshipful, that is called Krishna Vishnu. And Aradho Bhagavan Brajisatana, Tadhamam Vrindavanam Brahma Kachi Dupasana Brajabudu Varganja Kalpita, Srimad Bhagavatam Praman Amalam Prema Pumartaman, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Satradharu Naparaha. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad composed this verse. Our Aradha Dev Krishna. But here in this verse, Srila Shivji told to Parvati, Aradhana Sarvesam Vishnu Aradhanam Param. Here Vishnu means Krishna. Because Krishna is the supreme personality of God itself. But how to worship to Vishnu? Tadya Tadyanam Samarchanam. Tadya means who is very nearest and dearest of Krishna. It's called Tadyaja. And so now coming, who is nearest and dearest of Krishna? That is called Srimati Radhika. That means if you want to worship to Krishna or Vishnu, first you must take shelter without Srimati Radhika. Without shelter, the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika, any method you cannot proper way serve to Krishna. Because Srimati Radhika, she knows how to serve to Krishna. So in our Gaudiya Vaishnava, taking shelter lotus of Srimati Radhika. But if you want to take shelter lotus of Srimati Radhika, but first you take shelter lotus feet of Guru Rupa Sakhi. So in morning I also told here that Pranam Mantra, Guru Rupa Sakhi Pranam Mantra. Guru Rupa Sakhi Pranam Mantra. This is very important. That is our Gaudiya Parampara, that is called Manjari Bhav Sadhana Paddhati. The process how to perform bhajan sadhan under guidance of Manjaris. Sirupa Manjari Karar Chitapada Padma Goshandana Bhujar Vidamastakaya Ha Matuta Kanaguri Padar Vindam Sanbayani, Sanakai Stabakim Karisase, Bilap Pushpanjali Raghunath Das Goswami, he composed this verse. And same way, our Narottam Das Thakur, he also sang. Kabe Lokanatha More, Sange Laya Jabe, Sirupera Padme, More Samor Pive, Hana ki hoibe Mora, Narma Sakhi Gane, Anugata Narottame Koribe Sasane. Narottam Das Thakur, very humble. He is singing in this song, when my Gurudev Lokanath Das Goswami, means Manju Lali, will take me and offer the lotus feet of Rupa Manjari. Then Rupa Manjari, she will give me service, the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. This is our aim and object, that is called Radha Dasam. And Radha Dasam, how will become the matron of Srimati Radhika? So Guru Padvam, bona fide Guru Padvam, he will catch our hand and offer to lotus feet of Rupa Goswami, Rupa Manjari. Then Rupa Manjari will give the confidential service of Srimati Radhika. And so Guru Seva means this way, how to step by step, we will remove all kinds of unearths from our heart, and Adu Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Vritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav and Prem. This is the process. And bona fide Guru, he gives the instruction to his disciple, and how to step by step remove all the unearths and Sarup Brahm, Hidayat Durbulla, Asat Krishna and Aparad. And so in this day you have to and pray to Guru and Krishna and Srimati Radhika, then we will attain our highest perfection. And then by the causeless mercy of Srimati Radhika, we will serve to Krishna. Then Krishna will also give another service to us. Krishna will give what service? Krishna will give how to serve to Srimati Radhika. And do you understand? That means is when Srimati Radhika would do man, then Sakhi's how they serve to Srimati Radhika. Sometimes Sakhi's they also help to Krishna and how to meet with Srimati Radhika. So that is called Kunja Seva. Kunja Seva, Ninja Seva. This is our aim and object. And so many things in this way. And Gurudev, he will give these types of highest service to us. So you pray to Gurudev, and one day will be qualified and serve Krishna, divine called Radha and Krishna, and under guidance of Rupa Manjari. And so this is our aim and object. And so far the Sri Rupa Manjari Pada, Sei Moro Sampada, Sei Moro Bhajana Pujana. And so in this way, all our Acharya explain how to serve Srimati Radhika under guidance of Rupa Manjari. Jai Rupa Manjari ki ji, Jai Gaur Premanandi. Okay, you can continue to glorify our Guru Tattva, what is coming from your inner court of heart. Thank you. And my hearty blessing of you. Jai Jai Sri Ram. Okay, Haribol.
Haribol, Pranam, Gurudev, Pranam.
They're showing you a cake. Another cake.
Pranam,
Cake.
Gurudev.
Oh, nice cake. Haribol. Nice cake.
Hare Krishna to you. Hare Krishna. Vachan, Gurudev.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
to you.
Jai Shila Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, to Prasad or no?
Not yet. Hare Krishna.
I think because Prasad also downstairs.
Yeah, we have to go downstairs.
Happy birthday, Gurudev.
Huh?
So if they would bring upstairs, it would be very nice, I think.
We will bring.
Yeah.
no place to eat. You are saying, but they are arranging. They are managing how to do it. Here will do in contamination. Please.
Jai Shri Gurudev.
Who is hungry, they will go.
Pranam Gurudev.
If not hungry,
He's going.
oh, take prasad or not?
Gurudev is telling us that we should take prasad now.
Maharaj, cake here. Prasadam from the cake here.
No, sir. When your number coming?
I think now. I think it's my turn. Sí, si me guarda, por favor. Creo que sí. Gurudev is just went to his room. Now he's gonna rest after taking prasad. So he's off now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Padmanath. Thank you.
We'd like to invite you.
Raja Padmanath.
If you're ready, we can. Damodar Prabhu's turn from UK, but online. So, would you like to share with us your realizations?
You can't hear me.
Yes,
Padma, creo que el pregunta está hablando.
Sí, no entiendo a quién le hablan.
A ti, para que comiences si es que puedes.
El anfitrión me silencia todo el rato, entonces no puedo hablar.
We can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, I thought there were a problem with the mic, but if you say you can hear me, okay, no
We can
problem.
hear you. If you take your
Okay.
mask, that's good. You can take your mask off, we can hear you.
Aman Gyanat. Okay.
If you can unmute yourself.
Okay.
That's good.
Now you can hear me.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you. Aman Gyanat Midandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshura Militam Yana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Gaur Prastaya Smat Bhakti Vedanta Shravana Itinamine Vandeham Bhakti Chakram Gaurang Ganinja Prastutam Shumate Bhakti Vedanta Shravana Gosvami Maharaj Shri Radha Kanistitam Nasaraya Katambritam Sankirtananandam Goswaminam Banam Namaha Manchakaltaru Vesha Kripasindu Vevachapatinam Pavanivyo Vaishnavivyo Namo Namaha. I just want to say hello, Vanchakalpa, to everybody, and also all the devotees who arranged this beautiful seva, this beautiful program. We also have the beautiful opportunity to hear Gurudev. It just took like a couple of minutes, but it was all nectar. It was very, very beautiful to see. Well, here we are with him in Brazil. So it's a very beautiful opportunity to be with him, to hear his Harikatha, and also today we were celebrating his Vyasa Puja. So there will be a very nice festival here in Brazil. So everybody is very excited. Me too. It's a very, very, very beautiful place in the middle of the mountains too. So I have no words to express what's happening here. Devotees from all over the world are coming from Holland, Mexico, Chile, etc. So it's a very beautiful program. All the devotees who had the opportunity to come here, it's amazing. I really have no words to express what's happening here. So we are very grateful with Gurudev to give us the chance to glorify him. All is because him, because he's a sadhu. You know, sadhu sangha is the most important thing in our life. Even when the scripture says that in our first stage of spiritual life, the most important thing is sadhu sangha. And also, even if we have attained prema, sadhu sangha is still the most beautiful and precious thing in our spiritual life. Sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha. And also Harikatha. Gurudev always puts emphasis on here, Harikatha. He says that's the only way to clean our anarthas, undesirable things from our hearts. Harikatha, Harikatha, Prashad, Prashad, Harikatha. That's the preaching of my Gurudev. The first time I met Gurudev was on Skype. I received a call from Skype from him, and I answered without knowing who was calling. So it was very strange. So I accepted the call, and it was him. It was the first time I saw him. It was weird. I didn't know who was talking, who was him. And he say, "Hey, Haribol, Haribol," I say. "Okay, do you like Hari's name?" Yeah, okay, I like Hari's name. From time to time, I chant some rounds in a japamala. I have a japamala, so from time to time, I chant some rounds. So you like Hari's name? Yeah. I said, okay. Go get tilak, put tilak, and do a chaman. Tilak and a chaman, I said. Yeah. But why? I said, okay, go put some tilak and do a chaman. He said, okay. I just follow his instruction. Put some tilak, do a chaman. And he asked me, okay, what's your name? My name is Pablo, Paul. And he said, Pablo, P, Patmanavadas. Now you're my disciple. What? Yeah, you're my disciple. How many rounds you chant? 10, I don't know, 10 rounds, 15 rounds, I don't know. Okay, from now on, you have to chant 16 rounds. In a couple of months, I will give you Diksha. What? What are you talking about? So I feel very blessed because I asked for it, because I sent a message to Gurudev like 6 months ago from that, and he never answered. I sent an email to Gurudev and he never answered. And one day he just called me on Skype asking me if I like Hari's name. And I said, yes. Okay, now your name is Padmanavadas. So it was very amazing. I felt it was very stunning. I didn't know what to say. I was very nervous. I didn't know what was happening. I left the conversation, the video call, with a doubt in my head. I got initiated or what? What happened? What just happened? I wasn't sure at all. So it was very confusing. And also this happened like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. after midnight. So I heard my wife calling from the other bedroom. I want Harinam too. I also want Harinam. Please tell him I want Harinam. It was very, very weird situation. And a couple of months after that, we asked Gurudev, we want to have some deities. We were thinking about Gaura Nityananda. And what do you think? Okay, you can take Diksha. No, Gurudev, we don't want Diksha. Okay, connect to Skype and take Diksha. And no, Gurudev, we don't want Diksha. We're not asking from Diksha. Okay, take Diksha. Om Burbo Shara. Like again, what is happening? So Gurudev gave us Diksha again on Skype. And the first time he came to Chile, he performed the fire ceremony, and at that moment it was all cleared. Finally, with the fire ceremony. And once I read Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj's class, where he says, Diksha, the ceremony, the fire ceremony is something perhaps external. It's for the devotee. With the fire ceremony, now the devotee can say, oh, now I am initiated. But the true Diksha is when the bona fide Guru accepts in his heart that disciple. That's true Diksha, said Narayana Goswami Maharaj. Because we always have this doubt in our heart. Gurudev gave us Diksha or what? Because we didn't have the fire ceremony, we didn't have anything. I mean, I had to put the Brahmin thread on my own. So it was a very weird situation. We didn't understand that much. We were new. We were just neophytes in this Krishna consciousness, so we didn't understand that much. So when he performed the fire ceremony, he also cooked for us. He cooked all the meals, so it was very special. It was very I don't know how to say in words. It just really touched my heart. We still have the pictures of him cooking or the prasad for us. Also, we took Diksha, and that fire ceremony, in that same fire ceremony, we got married too. So he cooked for our marriage ceremony, and it was very special. It was very, 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 very special. I don't have much knowledge to say. It's all in Shastra. Gurudev says everything is in the Shastra. The most important thing is how you how you say it. If you speak very well, people will listen to you. The rest of the things are in Shastra. So I don't have much knowledge. I don't speak very well neither. So that's all I can say with Gurudev. I feel very blessed to be with Gurudev, to be here in Brazil with Gurudev at his Vyasa Puja, and to have a program. Well, with my wife, we were having a program for last 7 years. We are having a program, Glorify Gurudevs and all Guru Varga. And every time he goes to Chile, he stays with us. He goes to the temple, but he also spends like 2 or 3 days every year at home. So we feel very blessed that he has chosen us for that seva. He always says, okay, Bapu Seva, it's okay, it's necessary to perform Bapu Seva, but Bani Seva is the most important thing. So we're always trying to print books with Ananga Mohan Prabhu from Mexico and Jai, and Navamanjari Didi from Chile, Indumari Didi from Mexico. We are printing his books in Spanish, translating to Spanish, printing the books and everything. Also, with my wife, we have this Facebook page, Vana Madhurya in Spanish, Vana Madhurya and Espanol, where we translate, we have streamings from all the Harikatas for our Gurudev alive. So we are translating simultaneously all the Harikatas. So that's what we try to do, to spread to most people possible the message of our Gurudev or Guru's Vani. So that's all I can say about Gurudev. The most important thing is Guru Nistha. Guru Nistha is the backbone of our spiritual life. Gurudev always says that. So that's our emphasis, to spread the message of Gurudev all over the world. So if I help in something, at least a little grain of sand in this huge beach of the Krishna consciousness, that's it. That's what I can do, and that's my qualifications. So thank you for having invited me to this meeting. So the only way I felt I could pay for this invitation was giving you the darshan of Gurudev. Gurudev is right here. It's the prasad now, so I don't want to disturb him. You already heard Gurudev. You already took his darshan. You heard his little bit but important katha. So thank you for your invitation. Dandavat pranams, panchakalpa taruvesha, kripa sindhu vyavacha, patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Padmanabh Prabhu, thank you very much for your offering. And I don't know, very mystically, after Govinda Priya's mystical presentation, mystically Gurudev appeared.
Yes.
So it was just spontaneous. And Gurudev read our hearts and our cries to have his darshan today. And thank you very much on this birthday as well. We were blessed in so many ways. Thank you very much. Vancha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Please keep in touch and send us as many darshans as you can possible. We'll try and accommodate. Don't give up on us. Okay. So next we'd like a video presentation by Kunjeshwari Didi. Before Damodar Prabhu from Coventry will speak, Coventry, UK. I'm sorry to keep you waiting, Prabhuji, but for good darshan.
They offered the cake this morning.
Yeah. So Kunjeshwari, she offered a cake this morning and she did a video to Gurudev. She'd like to share with everybody.
Yes, actually today we gather with the girls to celebrate Gurudev's birthday, and we made a small video singing. So I'll just play that and share my screen. Just one moment. Sorry, some technical issue. One moment. Okay, now it's okay. Sorry, my computer just was stuck. Share screen. Hare Krishna. So it stopped now? The video stopped? Okay. So thank you very much. Oh my.
Okay, thank you, Didi.
I don't know why you're getting muted.
Okay,
Sorry.
no worries. Thank you very much, Didi. And thank you, Govinda Priya Didi, also before that, for that spontaneous mystical experience. I'm sure you had something to do with it. If not, then it was Padmanabh Maharaj, Padmanabh Prabhu's good wife, Nava Didi, who maybe called him and asked Gurudev to connect with us. But he just did it right at the perfect time. As always, he always comes when he's ready, and we're ready to receive him. So with no further ado, I'd like to invite Damodar Prabhu from Coventry to speak his heartfelt offerings on this very auspicious day. Sorry to keep you waiting, Prabhuji, but please, God, Damodar Prabhu has traveled with Gurudev. He served him also in hosted programs and helped his sister Radha Sundari Devi also to arrange programs at her house, and also helped with publication. He is also my personal Hindi advisor, because his Hindi is very good. And sorry if I get stuck with any Hindi words Gurudev is speaking, but I refer to Damodar Prabhu and he helps with that. Damodar Prabhu is also doing the website design for Van Madhuryam, and he's been working hard on that with a team of other devotees. So thank you very much, Prabhuji, for being with us today, blessing our day. please share with us your heart. You can unmute yourself. You can't unmute yourself. Kunjeshwari, please. No? Still not unmuting?
Actually, I unmuted you, Damodar. Just you need to press yes to.
You have to unmute yourself. Huh? Is it not working?
What is his name? Damodar?
No, Dinesh. No, it's Dinesh. Dinesh.
Ah, okay. So that's
probably right. It's coming. Dinesh Kaushik.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, sorry, I have my Kami name up, but it's just as it is. Okay. Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Ummilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Gaurupreshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Vaniti Namine Vanchakalpatriyubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, first of all, I'd like to offer my unlimited, humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev. Namo Vishnupad Ashtotrasha Srila Bhakti Vedanta Vana Gosvami Maharaj. Thereafter, I'd like to offer my humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of my grand spiritual masters, Nityalila Pravishta Vishnupada Stotra Shishila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj and Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Ashtotra Shishila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj. Also, I'd like to offer my obeisances to Shri Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, to all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis assembled here, and all respected attendees. So I am completely unqualified to speak in this assembly of devotees. However, upon the request of Kunjeshwari Didi and also prompted by Ananga Mohan Prabhu, I decided to, actually my heart felt compelled to say a few words on this auspicious occasion of Gurudev's appearance day. Vaishnavas, they don't really, they're not really born into this world, they manifest into this world, and they come into this world to actually help us conditioned souls to get out of the clutches of Maya and the threefold sufferings that we are inflicted with. And they try to show us how we can actually go inwards or internally and have a relationship with the Supreme Lord Krishna. And the way that their mercy works is completely inconceivable for us. Sometimes we feel like we can understand the activities of a Vaishnava just by our empirical senses, but it's almost impossible to do so. There's such a profound meaning to all their activities and everything they do. And I've actually experienced this on my journey in my spiritual life. So I'm just going to briefly touch upon how I met Gurudev. Actually, I met Param Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj in 2010 at the time of Guru Purnima. It didn't happen out of coincidence, because these things don't really happen out of chance. I was invited to Vrindavan after attending the Jagannath Puri Rath Yatra, and I was quite hesitant to actually go all the way to Vrindavan. It's so far from Jagannath Puri, but there was something within me that just, I guess it was just probably an inkling that said, just go. So I caught the train to Vrindavan, and to cut a long story short, I had darshan of Param Gurudev on the day of Guru Purnima. Prior to that, actually, I was very skeptical of the Hare Krishnas. I felt like I'm never going to join the Hare Krishnas, I think it was probably just due to a couple of bad experiences I had with some devotees. But that all changed when I met Param Gurudev, and he gave me a Tulsi Mala, but at that time I was not really ready to take, Harinam, and things obviously happen for a reason. And then exactly 4 years later, on Guru Purnima, was the first time I met Srila Gurudev. I came to the Harikatha, which was held by the Ganga Matas in a hall, and I listened. Gurudev spoke briefly for a while, but there wasn't anything that I would say Gurudev's Gatha touched me, and it felt really different to what I had heard before. But at that time, I just felt like, all my intellectual faculties were suspended, and I didn't know what to think of everything. After the Gatha, I saw Gurudev from afar, and I just had the same feeling of, oh, this is the same personality as who I'd met 4 years ago. Obviously not the same personality, that's a bit of a Mayavad conception, but a very great likeness to who I'd met 4 years ago. And I just put my hands together and paid my obeisances, and I didn't know what to think. I couldn't even approach him because I felt so fearful of him as well at the same time. I was just in so much awe and reverence of Srila Gurudev, and I still am. But it was just, a moment that I can't really explain. So, yeah, this is, one of the inconceivable ways that, the mercy of the Vaishnavas work within our hearts. Like, I didn't feel at all in control of that particular scenario or the situation, and I felt like the universe has conspired and to make that really happen for me. And in this way, sometimes the Vaishnavas give us mercy directly. Sometimes, be it through the Harikatha, be it through their love and affection, and even through their chastisement as well. And sometimes their mercy comes in a very indirect way, where you feel like there are other personalities who have been sent to you to give you a particular message. And I've had that on a number of occasions. Especially, there's one example where last year I thought this is going to be my last parikram. I'm not going to come on parikram anymore. I felt really just, it's getting on top of me, and yeah, it's probably just best to stay at home and do my sadhana. I also expressed this to Gurudev as well. And then a very nice god sister of mine, she actually, you know, got me out of this mental state of, you know, perhaps feeling sorry for myself, or perhaps feeling very down about the whole experience. She encouraged me in, you know, such a beautiful way and such an inspiring way that I can't really describe it. And I really felt like, you know, she had come into me, you know, as a representative of Gurudev. And this is, you know, one of the many ways that Guru keeps us hooked in to bhakti. Like myself, I have so much weak faith, and it's only because of his mercy that I'm able to, you know, continue to come to parikram on a regular basis, even to chant my rounds when I can chant my rounds, and do my mantras when I can do my mantras. But yeah, it's just completely inconceivable. Also, you know, the spiritual master is the best friend of a conditioned soul.
Following everything.
Sorry, we've got a few minutes left. 5 minutes.
Yeah, the spiritual master is the best friend of a conditioned soul. I feel like, you know, Gurudev's actually pulled me out of hell twice. Once was actually when I took Diksha from him. I was actually working in a job, like a corporate job in London, and I always felt like there's more to life. I just didn't know what it was, but you know, when you feel like you're in a place where you don't fit in, and it causes you to become depressed and like you're on a downward spiral. And at that time, I actually met Gurudev. So, you know, that was the first time that I felt like he pulled me out of hell. And the second time, I was in a very precarious situation after I had taken Diksha. And I didn't even know how to get out of that situation. But Gurudev, with his mercy in direct and indirect ways, he helped me out of that situation. And I truly believe, like, you know, Guru is capable of, if you really pray and you feel like you're really heading towards, say, like a blind alley or a black hole, he can actually help you to divert yourself away from that, which we don't really have the power to do ourselves. I think I'm just going to finish on this point. Srila Gurudev has been such an instrumental force in my life after I've taken Diksha. And sometimes I've failed to realize the mercy of Srila Gurudev. You know, sometimes you cannot understand straight away what he's trying to teach you. But surely if you hang on and you pray, he will certainly help you to understand his mercy. I pray to Srila Gurudev that he will be merciful to me throughout the rest of my life, and hopefully in some lifetime I can understand what he's trying to give me. Also, I pay my humble obeisances to all the devotees who have participated in this beautiful arrangement of Srila Gurudev's appearance day. Vancha kalpatriyobhascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo.
Thank you, Damodar Prabhu. for your heartfelt offering, your sincere reflection on your journey in your spiritual life. Certainly it has struggles and doubts, and this is what our Gurudev is there for, to help us clear those doubts and protect us from going astray. And he is certainly holding our hands, and if we offer him hands, he will hold it tightly and not let go. So I think this is what you're doing at this moment, is holding on to Gurudev's hand tightly, so he'll keep taking you where you need to go and making you do the things that you need to do. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. Just read the next question by the disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, as it's his disappearance day today. Can I protect myself, is the question by the disciple. The answer is never. To think I will protect myself is a fiendish, non-devotee mentality. As soon as this type of ill thought comes, one is then endangered. Shri Krishna is my sole protector. What do I have to fear? We should exclusively imbibe this exalted conception, just as Bhakta Prahlad Maharaj did. If we become indifferent to the narrations of instructions of Sri Bhagavan, then soon after our reliance on him will lessen. As a result of this, our various ill thoughts and our false egos would place us in a calamitous situation. We will constantly busy ourselves in service to Bhagavan without wasting even a single moment. We have to serve, remaining exclusively in the association of sadhus. By constantly remaining in such sadhu sangha, our aptitude for service will continuously be enhanced. Bhagavan fulfills every desire of his surrendered bhaktas without fail, and he never rejects them. Krishna says, Satya Kare, A Mag Brita, Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 15:166. Only Sri Bhagavan has the ability to protect us by giving us shelter. Other than he, no one else has such power. With such resolute faith, we can become free from fear and anxiety and become happy and successful. Krishna is the embodiment of auspiciousness, and therefore, if we have complete faith in his nature to bestow auspiciousness, we will certainly attain such auspiciousness. Words cannot express the kind of great auspiciousness that is obtained by surrendering fully at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. So in this way, if we, as Gurudev often says, we don't know Bhagavan, we don't know Mahaprabhu, we don't know even, we haven't been with Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, but if we have Guru in our life and we surrender to him and we give everything to him, he knows Bhagavan, he knows Mahaprabhu, and he knows Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. He knows he's in connection with the Rupanuga Guru Varga, right up to Brahma and Krishna. He's connected. And so if we connect to him in this way, then we can get Krishna's mercy. And this is the proof of our process. Guru is the backbone of, Guru Nishtha is the backbone of Bhakti. And in that context, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta is referring to. So our next speaker, Radha Sundari from Holland, if she could help us introduce herself and please make your offering to Srila Gurudev, that'll be really appreciated. Yeah, you're a very good singer, I know, and you're very enthusiastic in learning shlokas, and you're very enthusiastic to hear Gurudev, and he's very keen to teach you also, I know that, because he's always, when I've seen, he's personally instructed you many times, and you ask very intelligent questions also, which is very inspiring. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunnitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Gauraprishthaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Vana iti namine Vandeham Bhakti Chakoram Gaura Nija Prishtitam Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Vanam Namastubhyam Shri Radha Kanishtitam Rasayana Katamritam Sankirtanam Anandadham Gosvaminam Manam Namah Gurave Gauri Chandraya Radhikaya Stadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyev cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Shri Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Bolo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I would like to offer my billions and billions of humble Dandavat Pranam unto the lotus feet of my beloved Diksha Gurudev, Om Vishnupad Stotrichat Shishun Bhaktivedanta Ban Maharaj. Secondly, I would also like to offer my humble Dandavat Pranams unto the lotus feet of all my Siksha Gurudevs, headed by Om Vishnupad Stotrichat Shishun Bhaktivedanta Siddhanti Maharaj. Thirdly, I want to offer my obeisances to my most merciful Param Gurudev, Nityalila Prishta Om Vishnupad Stotrichat Shishun Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj. I want to offer my obeisances to all our gurus in our Rupanuga Guru Varga line, to all the Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, and all the devotees assembled here. Please accept my Dandavat Pranam. So when I was given the chance to speak, I was so happy because I could speak about the glories of Srila Gurudev and purify myself. But I was also a bit doubting because I don't understand Gurudev. I don't have any realization. So what should I speak then? And I thought, okay, I have some experiences which like show a quality of Gurudev, and I would just like to share that with you. Just one of the qualities which I saw in Gurudev was accuracy. It's very accurate. So when we received initiation in 2018, I made one comic for Gurudev. The title was God is Always Our Well-Wisher. And in that comic, I drew all the people with 4 fingers on one hand, because that's a kind of style of drawing, but I did that. So I gave the comic to Gurudev, and Gurudev was looking at each and every drawing. And when he saw the hand, he was saying, "How many fingers do you have?" I was saying, "Gurudev, I have 5 fingers." Then Gurudev said, "Yeah, and you should also draw with 5 fingers." And so from that day on, I never dared to draw people with 4 fingers. And as mentioned in the bhajan of Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj, Dina Jana Karuna Nidan, which means Guru is a reservoir of compassion for the fallen. And I kind of saw this quality in Gurudev because Primanandi Didi contacted my mother when Gurudev was in Holland and said, yeah, Gurudev actually took a day rest, but he still wants to give a house program to a house where he has never been before. And that was also our house. So she said, "You want to do a house program?" My mother said, "Yes." And when? Yeah, day after tomorrow. So we had a very short time to prepare, but Gurudev came to our house and the atmosphere was so amazing, and we were just so junior. We didn't know how to organize house programs, but luckily the devotees were there to help. And so in this way, Gurudev gave Harikatha, he did Arti. Arti was done at our house, Kirtan. And Gurudev coming to our house reminds me of the shloka, Mahat Vichalanam Grinam Grihanam Dinachetasam. Nishvayasaya Bhagavan Kalpate Nanyatakvati. This is what Nanda Maharaj said to Sri Gargacharya when Sri Gargacharya came to give the name ceremony of Krishna. Translation is, great personalities, great sadhus like you don't go here and there from this place to other place for their own welfare, but they come to help fallen grihastas. And this meaning is very, which can be applied to the situation which happened, because we were very fallen and Gurudev came to our house. And I would also like to mention that Gurudev is very absorbed actually in shlokas and scriptures. Because once it happened at the house of Shashikala Didi, one Didi said to Gurudev, "Oh Gurudev, thank you so much for your Harikatha. It was so sweet and so nice." And then Gurudev went upstairs to his room, and as he was walking the stairs, I heard him saying the shloka, Tavakatam Gitam Tapya Jivanam Kaviviriditam Kalmashapam Shravanamangalam Srimadattatam Bhuvignandite Bhuridajana. And in this shloka, it's also explained about Harikatha. So whenever Gurudev hears something, he thinks about the shloka. And also, another time this happens, Gurudev was giving prasadam to everyone, you know, from a box, he was giving prasad. And then he was saying, Nadati pragrinati guyam akti priti bhunti bhojayanti chaiva sadvidam priti lakshanam, which means Dadati means giving. So Gurudev was giving prasad and he was reciting this shloka. So that shows how much shlokas he knows, and he exactly understands and knows the meaning. And also, what I also would like to mention is that he's actually, when you look at Gurudev, he has sacrificed so many things. I mean, he had a degree in economics, studied for that, but he gave his life to his Gurudev. And Sripad Bhaktivedanta Siddhanta Maharaj told in his lecture, love means sacrifice. And when we see how much sacrifice Gurudev has done, I mean, he was staying in India, so close to pastime places of Krishna, but to fulfill the order of his Gurudev, he gave up his own pleasure of being there and went to the whole world preaching. So from this, we can see how much sacrifice he did and how much love he has. So I want to keep it to this. And I hope that on this auspicious occasion of the Parents' Day in this world, my Gurudev can also appear in my heart. Thank you
very much, Didi. Radhasundari Didi Ki Jai. Many qualities of there, also musician and singer, and reciting shlokas so nicely. Your parents must be very proud of you. And Gurudev also, we hope to hear more from you, and you can carry on preaching Gurudev's mission through your hard efforts and your own sacrifices. So thank you very much. Also, we have a Shloka Amrita group on WhatsApp you may like to join that needs inspirational personalities like you to keep inspiring us, learning those shlokas. We can send you the link. Kunjeshwari is also a member of that group, and she started the group. So please join us there as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our last but not least speaker, but before that, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada's disciple, his question, the last question, who will be delivered? And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, he replies, it is only when we do not engage ourselves in the service to Bhagavan that our thoughts, characteristics of the enjoying mentality grasps us. The embodiment of compassion, Sri Krishna, is always ready to protect us from this danger. But how will we be protected if we do not entirely depend on him? As the Guru, Krishna protects the Jiva. Shri Guru is the embodiment of Krishna's mercy. Shri Gurudev, the representation of Shri Krishna, descends to this world to deliver the Jiva from material existence and bring him back to Krishna. Only those fortunate seekers of the truth who wholeheartedly accept the mercy of Shri Gurudev can be delivered from this material existence and enter into the abode of transcendental peace and happiness. So, such a wonderful last question, and the importance of Shri Guru and how Shri Guru can take us to Krishna. So if we surrender to Shri Guru and always praise him, always remember him, never forget him. Gurudev often says, please don't forget me. So I don't know how we can say this, how we can forget Shri Guru, but if we follow that instruction, then we can be saved and protected. So our last speaker, Ananta Krishna Prabhu from Holland, again a very sincere and quiet devotee. I don't know so much about him. Please, if you could introduce yourself also and tell us a little bit, then we really appreciate it. Ananta Krishna Prabhu, I saw you there. Thank you. Can you unmute yourself? No? Kunjeshwari Didi. I think Ananta Krishna Prabhu is from Russia originally.
Yes, he can unmute
Yes.
himself.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavats. Thank you very much for being with us, and thank you for being so patient. It's now nearly 3 hours, and of course they seem like 5 minutes, but thank you for being with us.
Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Gaura Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Vana iti namine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. I want to offer my respectful obeisances to our beloved Srila Gurudev, to all acharyas in our Rupanuga Guru Varga, to all Vaishnava and Vaishnavis, to all God brothers and sisters. I want to share my little realization which I got in the last year. Actually, I want to begin with the glorification of Gurudev. If you look at his life, through his whole life, we can see he's a real Mahabhagavata. Even in the childhood, these qualities of Mahabhagavata were expressed by him. When he was just a child, he had many brothers and sisters, and every child in the family gets some pocket money, and they collected that in a box. So at the end of the year, they could spend this money to buy some sweets or toys. But what Gurudev was doing, he was collecting all this pocket money, and at the end of the year, he gave all this money to needy people, to poor people. So even in the childhood, he manifested these qualities of Mahabhagavata. He was caring about other people and not about himself. Also, I heard from one devotee that our Srila Bhakti Siddhant, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhant Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, whose disappearance days today also, he had a black horse. It was his quality. He was riding on a black horse. And also Srila Bhakti Pragyam Keshav Goswami Maharaj, it was also his quality. He had a black horse. And he was, with this black horse, he was serving Mayapur Dham. But then question is coming, where is this black horse? Is it disappeared? But no, this black horse transformed into a black bicycle, and on this black bicycle, Srila Gurudev was riding in the Madhur Dham to collect all the donations. So our Gurudev is in this parampara. And I think everyone knows how much did our Gurudev served when he was Brahmachari, how much he was serving his Gurudev. He had to collect donations and learn shlokas, and so he had to chant so much. And in the night he was reading books. So much seva he has done. I also heard from Sripad Sridhar Maharaj, a god brother of our beloved Srila Gurudev, that one time during the Arati, Gaura Arati was going on. All devotees were singing and taking darshan of the deities. But at once, Srila Gurudev, he lost his consciousness and fell on the ground. He was so immersed in this, in the mood of Arati, in the moods of the kirtan which was sung, that Srila Gurudev lost his consciousness and fell on the ground. So this quality of Mahabhagavat, we can see them through the whole life of our beloved Srila Gurudev. And he is giving us so much love and affection. When I for the first time came to Bhagavad Gita seminar, after taking prasadam, I went dancing at home, just dancing at home. And I got so much love from all my god brothers and god sisters, from the senior Vaishnavas and Gurudev. After seminar, I was already reading some books of Prabhupada. I asked Premanandi Didi, senior devotee, if I can get Kantimalas, because I read somewhere that devotees should wear Kantimalas. And then Premanandi Didi said, okay, we will give you Kantimalas. Then Gurudev came to the Holland. It was first time when I saw Gurudev at the program. And after the program, Premanandi Didi said, come here, we will give you Kantimalas. And then I got Kantimalas, Japamala, spiritual name, and Gurudev, all included. At that time, I couldn't realize how much love and affection Gurudev is giving to me. But step by step, I felt this love of devotees, this love of spiritual family. And Gurudev has always very sweet relationship with all his disciples. Each time he sees my sister, he says, "Oh, Mohini, how is it?" Every time he comes, he can remember her name. And when he was giving initiation to my mother, he said, "Oh, you're a very nice family. One time I will come to your house to take some prasadam." So we're still waiting when this promise of Gurudev will come true. But what I wanted to share, Gurudev and his family is giving us so much love. And for the past times, for the last times, I see how much people are suffering. Just to give an example, my great-grandfather is dying now. My so many family members are suffering so much. The friend of my father was almost burned. 20% of his skin was burnt away, and people are suffering so much. I was speaking to one classmate at my school, and she was telling about her house situation with tears in her eyes. And if you just look how much people are suffering, and this is our mission, which Gurudev has started to give, not started, which Gurudev is giving to us, this mission to help all the people. Gurudev is always saying, give love and affection to all living entities. So last time, Srila Gurudev was telling in his morning darshan that this mercy of Mahaprabhu is like a cloud, dark cloud, which is going everywhere and sprinkle the rain of mercy everywhere. So I think this Madhurya Kadambini, this black cloud, dark cloud, is like Srila Gurudev. He's going everywhere and sprinkles his mercy everywhere. So I think that our duty as disciples is to take this mission of our Gurudev and to help him to make all the people happy, because he is doing already so much. He is always engaged in service, always engaged in helping people. And this is our duty to help him, to translate his lectures, to translate his books, to preach, even to give prasadam to others is also service, but somehow to help his mission, to help people become happy. Like I, in my time, like Gurudev made me happy with his love and his affection. So this is the small realization, if I can say like this, which I wanted to share. Vanchakalpatarubhishya kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo namo namaha.
Thank you very much, Shananta Krishna Das. Very nice offering from the heart. Some very nice realizations also, and sharing that with us. It's quite appropriate so that we cannot become complacent. Like Gurudev, he's seeing the suffering of the jivas, and their suffering is hurting him, paining him. So this is the Vaishnava's greatest compassion, is Jive Daya Krishna Nam. So where he's going, he's giving the compassion, the karuna of the holy names. And Mahaprabhu's instruction is Jahar dekhe tahar kahe Krishna upadesh. So whoever you meet, whoever you see, if you can give them instructions about Krishna and give them the holy names, then this can save them. even above the material needs of the body or the mind or the ego. This is a spiritual transcendental gift you can give to everyone, to your friends and family as well. This is what we try and do in following Mahaprabhu's footsteps and Gurudev's footsteps. So thank you very much for sharing that with us. So Kanjeshwari, thank you for today's presentation. And our next presentation, I think, is on the 4th.
Can you say something?
Yes. So there is now one meeting announced on 5th, but actually we will have one more on 4th. So it will be two more on 4th of January, 5th. And actually maybe there is one more planned, but I will announce. But so the following one is on 4th.
Yeah. Tomorrow is the 3rd. So be the day.
So we have 1 day gap now, 1 day free, and then again.
Okay.
One kirtan to finish.
Okay. If Tarani Didi and Radha Sundari Didi, if you would like to lead us out with a kirtan. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I want to ask.
Hare Krishna.
We will sing Radha Nache Krishna Nache, but it's not in a English songbook. Radha Nache Krishna Nache Nache Gopi Gan, Man Mero Van Gaire Sakhi Pavana Vrindavan. Radha Nache Krishna Nache Nache Gopi Gan, Man Mero Van Gaire Sakhi Pavana Vrindavan. Lalita Nache Vishaka Nache Nache Sakhi Gan, Man Mero Van Gaire Sakhi Pavana Vrindavan. Lalita Nache Vishaka Nache Nache Sakhi Gan, Man Mero Van Gaire Sakhi Pavana Vrindavan. Ganga Nache Jamuna Nache Nache Nadi Gan, Man Mero Van Gaire Sakhi Pavana Vrindavan. Ganga Nache Jamuna Nache Nache Nadi Gan, Man Mero Van Gaire Sakhi Pavana Vrindavan. Radha Nache Krishna Nache Nache Gopi Gan, Man Mero Van Gaire Sakhi Pavana Vrindavan. Radha Nache Krishna Nache Nache Gopi Gan, Man Mero Van Gaire Sakhi Pavana Vrindavan. Sukha Nache Sari Nache Nache Pakshi Gan, Man Mero Van Gaire Sakhi Pavana Vrindavan. Sukha Nache Sari Nache Nache Pakshi Gan, Man Mero Van Gaire Sakhi Pavana Vrindavan. Radha Nache Krishna Nache Nache Gopi Gan, Man Mero Van Gaire Sakhi Pavana Vrindavan. Radha Nache Krishna Nache Nache Gopi Gan, Man Mero Van Gaire Sakhi Pavana Vrindavan. Pavane Tere Naam Pe Sakhi Pavana Vrindavan, Man Mero Van Gaire Sakhi Pavana Vrindavan. Pavane Tere Naam Pe Sakhi Pavana Vrindavan, Man Mero Van Gaire Sakhi Pavana Vrindavan. Radha Nache Krishna Nache Nache Gopi Gan, Man Mero Van Gaire Sakhi Pavana Vrindavan. Radha Nache Krishna Nache Nache Gopi Gan, Man Mero Van Gaire Sakhi Pavana Vrindavan. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram. Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Shri Radha Krishna ki jai, Shri Gurudev ki jai.
Premanande, Hari Hari Hare Krishna everyone. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhar Radha Govinda Ji ki Jai, Radha Gopinath Ji ki Jai, Radha Madhav ki Jai, Radha Kant ki Jai, Radha Vallabh ki Jai, Radha Giridhari ki Jai, Radha Rasheshwar ki Jai, Radha Vrindavan Chandra ki Jai, Radha Gokulanand ki Jai, Radha Raman Ji ki Jai, Radha Ras Bihari ki Jai, Radha Banki Bihari ki Jai, Shila Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Shila Bhaktivedanta Nitya Vishnupada Sthita Shri Sri Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Bhaktivedanta Bhava Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Bhaktivedanta Trika Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Gaur Govind Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Bhakti Rakshak Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Bhakti Malab Tirtha Maharaj ki Jai, Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Triro Bhavatiti ki Jai, Shri Gokishadas Baji Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Chidananda Shri Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki Jai, Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannatha Baji Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Gauriya Vedanta Chara Shri Bhagavati Shri Shamananda Bhutari ki Jai, Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki Jai, Shri Krishna Kaviraj Goswami Guru ki Jai, Shri Rup Sanatan Varaghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhajadas Raghunath की जय, श्री सर्वदामोदर राय रमन गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय, नामचार्य श्री ठाकुर की जय, प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, Shantadvi, Mayapur, Shamantadvi, Godadvi, Madhvi, Kaladvi, Uttadvi, Janadvi, Modhavadvi, Gujrati, Krishnavadvi, Tham ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan Shri Manu ki jai, Shri Dwadashakam ki jai, Shri Sham Kun Radha Kun Gangade Bhakti Devi Tulsi Maharani ki jai, Sarva Vishnu Pidata Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Sarva Vigna Vinashayana Shri Dev Bhagwan ki jai, Bhakta Parshad Maharaj ki jai, Chara Sampradaya, Chara 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 Dham ki jai. Shri Rati Manjari, Vinod Manjari, Rupa Manjari, Raman Manjari, Kamal Manjari, Nayan Manjari, Lavanga Manjari, Raga Manjari, Ashtashaki, Vrinda ki jai. Shri Hari Nam Sankirtan ki jai. Anandapur jai. Shri Om Pramanande, Hari Hari Om Tulsi Devai, Priyai Keshavai Sacha, Krishna Bhakti, Pradevi, Sattvatai Namo Namaha. Vanchakalpatariyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So until the next time we meet, please look after yourselves and look after everybody around you as you can. If you can't give them the holy name, some prasad distribution is always nice. I know we can't share prasad with you. We have a cake as well. We'll honor it in all your names. And Kuncheshwar cake she's already eaten, so we kind of
Yes. Lobasur ate it.
Lobasur, the demon of greed. Hare Krishna. If you have anybody else who wants to join and wants to speak and make an offering, even they may be shy, there's an option to do an audio recording in their own time and send it to the mantra meditation group. Then they can do it in their own home without anyone present, etc. And maybe just send it as a sound file so that people can listen to their offering and share their realization. And of course, you can always share that with Gurudev as well on Skype or through his email. So that's also possible. So share it with us also if you can. Sunday share it with Gurudev. If you share it with us, then we can also have some realization of that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Didi.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So see you on the 4th of January.
Yes.
See you on Monday.
Hare Krishna.